Greetings, friends. We're broadcasting you from a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. This is now part 2 of our Star Wars Prequels watch-along series. For your edification today, we are bringing you Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. In my opinion, easily the worst of the prequel trilogy. But before we go any further, I would like to introduce our guest for this episode. We have brought on our own Star Wars expert. It's Hayley, a.k.a. Hayley Glyphs from Twitter, who you may be familiar with from all of the wonderful artwork she has done for Chapo Trap House. Hayley, how's it going?
It's very early. It's very early, Will.
Yeah, Hayley is coming to us from Australia, and she has very kindly chosen to get up at 7 in the morning.
It's 7 a.m. And yet, I'm not usually up for like between 11 and 2. And that's when I have work that I'm supposed to start at 8 o'clock. So
you keep podcasting hours.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it means it's why my life is in shambles.
This is a real banal question, but you're in Melbourne, right?
Yeah, that's right.
What is the name for people from Melbourne? Melburnians?
I don't know, because I'm not leaving the state and talking to outsiders. I don't know how they talk about us. I know in Tasmania they refer to everybody else in Australia as the mainlanders because they're stuck on this island. But yeah, I don't know what the outside Yeah, I think we are actually totally closed off at the moment legally from everywhere else as well. I'm not sure.
What better way to spend in isolation than video chatting with people on the literal other side of the world about one of the weirdest movies ever made?
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't you, I would end up doing this with some other group of podcast people, probably.
All right. Well, before we start, before we start this film, I just want to like a brief recap, if you will. Last week we did The Phantom Menace, which we have conclusively figured out that it is a movie about Brexit, but mainly about boy slavery and race science.
Yes, absolutely.
But I just want to get Hayley's opinion on this.
And about how some slavers can actually be good if they treat their slaves well.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Jedi, I think, are pretty conclusively evil. They're not good guys as far as the way they're presented in these films. But I want to get Hayley's take on this as a Star Wars expert. What is your take, first of all, on how Attack of the Clones, before we start it, how does that fit into the overall sort of Star Wars universe and lore? Or what is the importance of it? And then what is your take on the prequel trilogy as a whole?
What is it, like Mao that says the thing when they ask him about what do you think about the French Revolution, and he's like, I think it's too early to tell. I think you can sort of apply the same thing to the Star Wars prequels. We clearly have not finished unpacking them as a worldwide culture, because now they've got this they've been revisited because the sequels damaged everybody so badly. Now the same people who spent my entire life hating the prequels have now come around to this contrarian, no, the prequels were actually the good Star Wars and how Star Wars should be, and the Virgil Star Wars at its purest, most distilled George Lucas, and that's why it's good actually, kind of opinion. So I don't think we can say conclusively any. I don't want to make a declarative statement about the prequels because we don't know yet. Attack of the Clones is the least relevant of any of these movies. It has the least reason to exist. It adds the least to anything beyond the fact that there are clones and there's a clone war, which we already knew from the first original Star Wars. So yeah, I don't know why we're here doing this movie. It doesn't need to be here. It's the most skippable, I think. All you need to know is there was a clone war and it was bad going into episode 3. None of these movies really, except the third one, matter at all.
When we were discussing this last night, in advance of Attack of the Clones, Matt pointed out that this is especially odd because essentially the Attack of the Clones episode 2 is 2 movies grafted into one. One being sort of a very strange courtly romance between Anakin and Padme, But again, even weirder, made by the fact that like Anakin is supposed to be, I don't know, 17 years younger than her, and like that she started crushing on him when he was a child, and a
That's
sort
why
of
it's hot.
and like the Obi-Wan, like a weird sort of almost totally weird sci-fi film noir detective story, and then
This is like the most George Lucas divorce-y kind of movie I think of them. Like he like got into hardboiled detective novels. He rewatched a bunch of old noir movies, and he decided, I just want to make some of those. I want to do a bit of that, but not a whole one. So some of this movie, look, I've been reading a lot of detective books in the bath. I think I want to do it. I think I want to do a bit of a detective thing. It also has a Flash Gordon third act where like they just do like a Ray Harryhausen thing for a while after doing this game. This thing has like a video game sequence followed by a Ray Harryhausen sequence.
Yeah.
Then it's got a entirely CGI war with like Battlestar Galactica like style, like sudden zoom ins on random parts of the battle. It's the most tonally inconsistent Star Wars. It is just like a bunch of different things George Lucas was into at the time, and he's filmed a bunch of them, but Star Wars versions, and then like cut them together.
So like they do a video game cutscene action sequence, followed by a Ray Harryhausen action sequence, followed by sort of like a war movie climax, like battle scene, but somehow all of them manages to look like worse than the next one, or worse than the original thing that was made 60 years prior.
With Christopher Lee in there as well. In between all of those things, you're cutting back to Christopher Lee fighting Yoda, who is like now a CGI like green ball that's zipping about the screen.
Yoda. This is the film where Yoda is revealed as having Sonic the Hedgehog like abilities.
Green lad.
Well, this is a chunky film, so we can get onto all of this a little more.
Let's go. Let's just start.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So,
I'm gonna go.
You cue it up for the people listening along when they should start. Okay.
Yeah. Countdown. I will play on the lightsaber sound. 3, 2, 1. Zhwom.
Oh, by the way, the person who thought the 20th Century Fox logo was a real building was Rob Wiseman. He let that slip on Go Off Kings at one point.
I think we said this last time, but they should do it. It would be a cool building.
I mean, they could just do that. They own the Fox logo. They can just export it into reality and put it like next to Star Wars Land.
Yeah, hit render on that guy. That's where they should do the Academy Awards, inside the 20th Century Fox logo. More like Attack of the Clowns.
I think there was a parody song at the time. I remember that was Attack. There was like an Attack of the Clowns parody song from this time. I was like 9 or 10 when this came out. I'm trying to remember back to then.
All right, so
I remember being incredibly excited for this movie. This was like
several thousand solar systems have decided to leave the Republic.
They cover so much plot in these crawls in the first. They just like Count Dooku's a guy now.
Yes,
we love Count Dooku, don't we, folks? Here he is. You've never heard of him before, but he's a major player now. Chris, could you turn down the volume on the movie a little bit?
Yeah.
And then turn on the subtitles?
I think the subtitles are on.
Okay, good.
I do think that the Star Wars do kind of start, like, one of the things that most goes off the rails is when they start introducing huge characters in the scroll.
Like in the most...
Emperor Palpatine?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Emperor Palpatine, he's back.
Guys, he's back in resurrected form.
Yeah.
This opening is fucking good, though. Like, it's all shiny. It's Art Deco, like, buildings sticking into space. It's...
I think Coruscant is cool.
The
whole
best
planet's a city,
CGI
folks.
in this is like it looks like those sorts of. It looks like the 90s CGI reels that I'd watch on YouTube while I'm high. Like that's the best stuff from this movie. That's what it looks like. It's just like good vibe images to look at. Stoned.
Yeah, they got really into metallic surfaces.
I really like
They mastered that.
the shiny chromed out spaceships of Naboo.
Oh, so do you know that Captain Phasma, the Gwendolyn Christie robot stormtrooper in the new movies, her armor is made out of Queen Amidala's shuttle casing.
Is that something
Wait,
you'd have?
like canonically?
Yeah, that's Pablo Hidalgo.
Yeah,
wrote
get
this
Pablo
into
on the line.
books. Is that it's like when this spaceship blows up, you know, it's sitting there on Coruscant for a while, but like the Emperor, you know, he's like put it into storage. And one day his acolytes are going to melt it down and turn it into Gwendolyn Christie's feminist stormtrooper armor.
Owned.
Owned.
I mean, you think by now they would have figured out that like Queen Amidala's whole thing is using body doubles like Saddam Hussein, and that they would have done a little bit better a job of this assassination plot.
Well, it's because Count Dooku isn't really trying to kill Padme because he's working.
Oh, that was an amazing death scene.
Isn't that supposed to be Keira Knightley? Or is
No,
that
she was in the
one?
first one. She was in the
No.
first one.
Yeah, she was in the first one.
That's
Right.
actually a decoy for Keira Knightley. After she booked the pirate series, they realized that she was too important and needed to do decoys for her.
That's some
Can you imagine
hella
these
face
movies?
acting there.
Yeah.
If Keira Knightley had, like, if you'd switched Keira Knightley and Natalie Portman in that first one, though, like,
It wouldn't have made a whole lot of
I don't know. She's bend it like Beckham. She's got a lot more range than Natalie Portman.
And most importantly, Keira Knightley has no personal connections to Alan Dershowitz that I'm aware of.
She's a nice British girl.
I
The British
remember,
aren't doing pedophilia. It's fine.
I remember reading an interview with Keira Knightley about pirates and what the process of doing it was, and she was like, "I don't really know what to say." Every take they would spend like 20 minutes making my boobs look as big as possible, and then I'd ask Gore Verbinski what I should do in the scene, and he's like, "Yeah, whatever."
It's amazing how, like, especially in the first one, but especially in this one, how grating they make Yoda, who is like one of the best characters, the most beloved characters in the original. Like, just how unbearable Yoda becomes.
Yoda
very
sucks
quickly.
comprehensively. Not to mention
Yeah.
the fact that the cool scene that everyone's supposed to go crazy for when he busts out his lightsaber, it means that he's lying the rest of the time. He doesn't need a fucking cane. He's a little lying asshole.
That's
Oh
That's
my
his
gosh,
skill, though.
he's a faker.
He's a malingerer. He's a gold bricker.
He's faking a
That's fine.
disability. He's faking a disability. That's low key.
He is. He's a fake spoonie. He's got a GoFundMe for his little, so he can take his like support dewback onto a fucking space shuttle.
At
Yeah, after that footage came out of Yoda fighting Christopher Lee, there was like a huge thread on the HoloNet calling out Yoda for faking disability, for...
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He also was.
It was
Should be dragged.
He also
Drag him.
he immediately got served by the like Coruscant Workman's Comp board for faking for collecting disability for the last 1,000 years.
Yeah, that's how Sidious's plan... That was Sidious's first plan to get Yoda, was to, like, you know, put him into a situation where he'd reveal that he's been faking being handicapped this whole time.
Really bad hair basket for Queen Amidala there.
Yeah, she goes curly in this episode. I think one of the glaring things, especially about in this one, is that
Look at that lift. That's a cool fucking lift. It's like a...
Deco
pill.
Sidious Palpatine is the only person who knows the tone of the movie he's in.
These guys have such chemistry.
Yeah. It's really good. It's really good.
Just crackling.
It snaps every line of dialogue between them.
I love that we have a rat tail and a mullet in the same scene in a Star Wars movie.
And a little like a little braided the rat tail and a little ponytail.
These movies came out when I was like between 8 and 13 or something. I desperately wanted one of those like little Padawan braids. Actually, I think I had one, like a clip-on one that I got with a Star Wars book.
Just a Star Wars book that has like a little plastic.
Well, it's
case
like
with
you
a little
get
bit of
like
hair in the
like
back.
a kid's activity book, and it would come with like a bunch of little Star Wars like things, and one of them was like a clip-on Padawan braid.
And then you
I think
could
it was
take
my
it.
Obi-Wan Kenobi costume set that it came in. It had like an Obi-Wan mask. I'm remembering it now. It had
Oh,
an
this
Obi-Wan
line.
mask.
This fucking line. It's so bad.
You've grown.
You've grown more beautiful. I mean, that's game. That's game right there.
Sploosh.
Oh, she
It's
is
also-
down. God
It's also
damn.
important to keep in mind that they were fucking at the time in real life as well.
What?
Really? What?
Really?
Natalie Portman
Yeah.
and Hayden
No
Christensen?
way.
No.
No way.
Yeah, on this
Actually,
movie.
how did I not know that? Considering their amazing screen chemistry.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Item.
that's
That
Just
actually
imagine-
makes their acting so much
Here,
better that
wait.
they're concealing it so well.
I'll,
I don't. It's not.
I'll reenact. I'll reenact that for you. Okay, you ready? Watch.
Amber is smacking together a water bottle and a Kleenex box.
It's not in the making of or anything. Like Pablo Hidalgo didn't write this, but like the word is Natalie Portman and Hayden Christensen were like fucking during episode 2, and they
Wow.
broke up pretty quickly during episode 2, and then have hated each other ever since. And I think that's supposed to explain some of.
See, they broke
bad
up in
vibes.
the middle. That explains it. You can't let them do that. You got to like put a hose on them to keep them away from each other until after the movie is shot, because you
It had
can't
the,
predict
it
how
had like
long.
the opposite effect of
He is wearing a lot
because
of
like
makeup.
Harrison and Carrie were fucking.
They were
for,
having
like,
sex. Yes.
yeah, but like
Yeah,
their romance and dialogue, you can feel that sexiness between them
Yeah, that's hot.
for sure. Between
But they
yeah.
broke up between Empire and Jedi.
Yeah. See, there you go.
They still got something in Jedi between.
see
each other.
for
And they
Lisa
clearly
busted.
never. And they never like they. I don't think they when they broke up. It was like. I mean, he was cheating on his wife. You know, it wasn't like a.
See,
I think-
I read like something from her like diaries from the time the other day about it, and I mean she was pretty aware that he was just using her for sex,
Yeah.
and that it was completely empty. And I think she was like describing it as one of the most depressing. I think it was like I wish it had been Mark. If it had been Mark, it might have been better.
He seems like a nice boy.
So
Yeah,
what
you
we,
would have treated her
He's
right.
the Joker.
so what we just saw there was Anakin was like simping for Padme really hard, and then Obi-Wan uses like Path of the Jedi alpha mindset to tell him like, don't focus on the you're focusing on the negative. You need to like just to control your emotions, and if you compare Anakin to Han Solo, who does nothing but neg Princess Leia the entire time, I think you can follow the Path of the Jedi alpha. You can there's some good lessons here. There's some good game.
Off.
Yeah,
We
but
just
like
saw-
Han didn't like end up with Leia. The sequels they've been split up for a while. He's gone back to like doing his drug smuggling trucking job. Like Anakin negged his wife
big
to
rig
death,
man.
but he kept his wife.
I was gonna say, yeah, like Anakin and
They
Padme,
died married.
they end up together, but then he ends up like, destroying the universe and killing her because of it. So
Look, you can
He
win
just
some, you
loved
lose
her
some.
too much.
Yeah.
He loved her too hard and broke her. It happens.
We just saw in the last scene Zam Wessel. I think Zam Wessel is pretty cool. The bug assassin.
Yes.
She is fucking cool. Look at her. She's the disgusting mutant as well. It's
Oh,
very
yeah, she's a
low key
shapeshifter,
assassination.
right?
You just like you just stand on the balcony, but then you send the droid. The droid is the assassin. And
Yes.
Rizzo is she's just a drone operator.
yeah,
Why
Was that Dooku who gave her the
no, that was Jango Fett.
Yeah, Jango gave her the
But
assassin
Jango
bug.
is working for Dooku, who's working for Sidious, who is actually Palpatine.
So we're like 4 layers down in the
How deep does this?
job
How
delineation.
deep does this conspiracy go?
This is the I even got the assassination. Yeah, I'll leave it. It's
Yeah. This is a very chill zone. I would like to live in this apartment.
Excellent windows,
Yeah.
but it also
Don't
makes
forget
it very.
a politician. They're not to be trusted. Unlike me, essentially like a freelance samurai with like no accountability whatsoever.
If I was, I would get blackout blinds if I was living in this city. I don't know why the slats.
Oh my god!
How can you
creep
sleep it?
shots? Creep shots.
Yeah. No, but
Yeah, why would you just put a bomb there?
yes.
or a gun in the
Yes.
droid. Just shoot it.
Yeah,
Time
just
to
shoot her. Why are you sending a death slug into the goddamn ice?
Yeah, this is a
This is
bit.
the least efficient murder plan in history.
I'm gonna
You
rely
have it
on
right there. Just
This
fill
is
it
the
with
same-
poison gas.
It's a bit whimsical.
Fire a gun through the hole. What are you doing?
I just
Also,
think like
again-
they're too clever by half, and this is
Yeah.
this is the same way like the DNC murdered Jeffrey Epstein.
No, it's like
So
they've-
in the logic,
this
They sent
assassin
in the
and
brain
just,
bugs.
this
just again to run down the logic of this, Sidious talked to Dooku, who talked to Jango, who talked to Zam, who took these bugs and put them in the droid for the droid to take the bugs and put them in her room.
That is how-
when all those people see her every day.
That is how
Yes.
outsourced this hit job is. They're relying on a drone and 2 invertebrates to get the job done. After they botched it the first time.
I tell you what, this is why they want trade deals, because normally that job would have gone to a domestic assassin working from that planet, and they bring in these
Is
bugs
it-
from God knows where.
Yeah,
in the
I don't
Assassins
think-
Union.
Well, I don't think Jango is necessarily part of the Bounty Hunters Guild. Boba is later.
that's
Yeah.
insane. Why would you do
Why
that?
would you do that?
Because it's cool.
Out the window I
It's
go.
fun.
It's really not cool. It's like, what do you do when you catch it, too?
Yeah,
But
that's why you just hang on it and hope you don't die.
but the
Padme
buildings
is
in
like-
the buildings in Coruscant are so big that if you jumped out of
Also,
like the
it
top
doesn't
floor
have to
of
do
one,
anything. It can just hang out there until it gets tired and let him drop to his death.
They really
Yeah, it
should have
should-
given it a self-destruct like they do all the other robots in Star Wars. Like, this would have been a much shorter... Like, just blow it up now when you got the guy, the one competent investigator is hanging off your flying death drone in a city that has no bottom. Just blow it up.
Yeah, Zam could have gotten a great twofer here. Probably gotten a bonus on the mission.
Padme is so passive in this movie. Look, if I had had 2 assassin bugs crawling on me in bed, I would not fucking stay in the bed while people come for me. I'd be
wait
fucked
a
out
second.
of
Just
that room.
like 10, 20 seconds ago, did we get a little Sebulba cameo there?
No,
It was,
it's-
if not Sebulba, it was a Sebulba
They
species
don't
creature.
all
yes.
look the same, Will. That's really offensive.
Sebulba
It's
was
another
alive at the end of Phantom Menace. We
That's
documented
true.
it
That could have been
after,
him.
after essentially crashing like a Vespa at 800 miles an hour, a Vespa being towed by 2 jet engines. He crashes that at like going 900 miles an hour and lives. So I don't
Yeah.
think it's
So is
unreasonable.
That's how
that
things
alien,
work.
I believe, is Sabuka, who is there's actually a number of Sebulbas in this movie. There's more Sebulbas
Did you say
coming
that
up
it's
later.
a Doug?
Yeah, it's a Doug. That's the species.
DUG, right? Yeah.
D-U-G, yeah. He didn't even give it a space spelling. It's
Wait a minute, D-O-U-G, like Doug?
no D-U-G. It's just
Oh.
Doug. He dug it.
Like Dig Dug.
Chris,
Yeah.
could you turn down the volume on the movie just a little bit more?
Yeah, of course.
There is a book in between Phantom and this where Anakin meets Sebulba again, but he's retired from racing, but Anakin has to race against Sebulba's son because his son has become a pod racer and is trying to restore the family honor, and so has to race against Anakin. I never
Who
finished
wins?
the book, so I don't know how. I don't know. I never finished it. I read it a couple years ago.
I'll tell you who wins. I'll tell you who wins, the reader.
I hope his son's name is just Sebulba Jr.
So do you think in a city or a planet like Coruscant that's just all a city of like immensely high skyscrapers, like the lower you get or closer to the surface of the planet you get, like the worse a neighborhood it is.
Presumably, yeah.
Yes, I mean this is the premise of the high-rise cities as precedent set by Blade Runner. We all agree that is the truth.
And Metropolis.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Is this what New York is like?
Yes, it is.
Well, in about 6 more months, yes. Just open flames coming out of buildings.
I'm freaking flying over here.
People in car chases with bounty hunters.
This is the fire district. It's just the district where there's this fire in all the buildings that comes, and just giant electricity fields.
It's the electricity and fire. This is where they make all the fire,
they just zapped and it didn't bother them.
Yeah, they just kind of grin through it.
This is
Well, in the last movie, Jar Jar got like his tongue got zapped, and that's about it.
This is the
They
doesn't have
invented a
much of
very
effect.
harmless form of electricity.
It's the Tesla
This
coil
is
neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. This is what they killed Tesla to protect us from. When the DNC killed Nikola Tesla.
Thomas Edison, the DNC, and the alternating current people. They were all together.
It sounds like
How deep does it go?
sounds like a good premise for our next Call of Cthulhu.
Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, they'd all be like against AC if it was coming out now. They'd be
Oh yeah,
talking
no. They would be like, oh, "What? It's dangerous. You're gonna get electrocuted. Stop it."
See, when I first saw this movie,
we can't have the universal energy field. You know, and my time's up.
okay, so like the sort of bug lady shape-shifting assassin, in her human form, when I first saw this movie, I thought it was Jennifer Tilly for a second. Which would have been cool. I mean, Jennifer Tilly and Gina Gershon should
Jennifer
both
Tilly
have been
rules.
This is quite sad to watch. Like, I just finished Tiger King, and the way that Anakin just throws himself off the side of the car, and everyone's, I hate when he does this. It reminds me of that scene in Tiger King where the Tiger King's, like, himbo boyfriend who's forcing to have sex with him for meth, like, kills himself, and he's, like, keeps doing all of these things that puts him in danger. That's what Anakin is doing, I feel like, is that he's just trying to escape this life that he was forced into as a slave child.
Yes,
It's
yes.
incredibly destructive. He doesn't care about his own mortality. He just wants to end what he's been put through.
That is a
And so
very
he's putting himself in these situations.
Actually, Will, she looks a little bit more like Meg Tilly, who is the Tilly that resembles me more so.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is more Meg Tilly than Jennifer. That's true.
No, Haley, that is the analogy between Anakin and Travis, Joe Exotic's second meth addicted boy toy, is very, very apt. Because he essentially is made insane from a life of servitude to a maniacal cult, and I can just like Anakin's fucking around with Palpatine's campaign manager and just puts his lightsaber to his temple and be like, "Don't worry, I'll turn it on. It'll be fine." And it just goes straight through his head.
Pack in it. You can't kill yourself with a power pack in the lightsaber.
I took the Kyber crystal out. It's fine. Also, if you got like a group photo of all the wild animal traders featured in that documentary and put it up next to a group photo of the Jedi Council, it would be very same energy.
Yes, very true.
Yeah, the Jedi also only get paid $132 a week stipend, and they all have to eat out the same meat truck. Yoda and Mace Windu and Ki Adi Mundi.
Oh, wait a minute.
all those
Doc
guys.
Antle actually does look like Qui-Gon Jinn, too.
And has the same weird sex cult relationship with the young people that he abuses and exploits their labor.
Yes.
It is just.
I do
makes
like
me
this-
so depressed. Like
I do
Anakin,
like this-
he was rescued from slavery, and then they just gave him to a man with very unfortunate hair choices to spend the rest of his life serving. It's like, now you're free now. You now serve this man with a mullet for the rest of your life until he decides you're free.
Haley,
Again.
it begs the question. We broached this during Phantom Menace. Was he freer when he was owned by Watto? I mean, I think the answer is yes. He was living in a pretty nice house with his mom, basically just
that's
fixing
the message
things.
of the movie is that freedom is slavery. Like,
Bow down
were free.
before the Watto you serve. You're going to get what you deserve. No, he had a good life on Tatooine. He
Yeah.
wasn't doing
You gotta
backbreaking
serve
agricultural
some
labor.
Watto.
Yeah.
I like this robot football that's going on in the
Okay,
background.
now we get the drug dealer character, which is one of my favorites in this movie.
What's
These
his
movies.
name?
Ilan Sleazebargano.
Death,
They go to like a-
death sticks.
I love that this is like a space
wanna buy some
Buffalo
Death
Wild
Sticks?
Wings.
Yeah, this is a Jedi. This is a galactic sports bar. Awful.
This is
Awful.
This is Dave and Buster's, I assume. We don't have that
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
But this
Yeah.
is what I kind of
Oh,
imagine.
you're
It's
missing
more,
out.
it's more of a Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm
Yeah.
not seeing any
Yeah.
gaming, so it's more like a B-dubs.
Haley, you're missing out on Dave and
That
Buster's.
was George Lucas's daughter.
And she's
that,
getting horny for Anakin.
yeah.
No, I do want
don't
some
wanna-
death sticks.
The creature effects in this movie, like they've come so far from the original. Like you couldn't get head tentacles like that guy had back in the 70s. They didn't have the technology. But now with CGI, you can put those little mushroom tentacles on a guy's head, and yeah, just the way technology has changed.
The society is just this like, even the guy selling drugs, it's like, yes, my name is Sleaze Baggio, and I'm selling death sticks. It's like they're not even trying to make it in any way appealing.
Do you think death sticks are uppers or downers?
Oh, they're down.
way downers.
Yeah.
They gotta be downers,
Again,
right? Death
My theory
sticks?
from last episode is that you smoke it and immediately die.
The ultimate
That's
high.
how you get. That's how you get
the ultimate high.
Yeah, you get the
This
DMT.
is why. That's why Obi-Wan had to like find the death stick dealer and like get him the fuck out of here before Anakin found him.
You're
No,
like, that sounds like a pretty good
yeah,
deal.
you get the DMT high
Again,
when
these
your
people
brain
are just
releases it.
tyrannizing the club. These people are why the club is no fun. You want to go to the club, you want to dance, and then you've got this rough housing that goes on in there, just ruining everything.
Every time your song comes on the dance floor, these cops with laser swords start wazing them around.
Obi-Wan Mateen just killed the club.
Oh,
Oh, a hell of a death scene there.
yeah.
Wait, I gotta say, everyone dies really badly. Everyone's really bad at dying in these
Oh
movies.
no, she became a prune.
She became a prune creature.
See, I don't get this shape-shifting species. It seems like a very limited utility because you wear the outfit doesn't change, just your face changes.
Yeah.
So she attempts to
Yeah.
hide in the club
Well-
by changing
she's
her
still got
face,
the same
but looking
outfit.
exactly the same.
To be fair, this is a heavily uniformed society. So the odds are that there's going to be someone else wearing your same outfit is kind of high.
And she can also only change her face. She can't shapeshift the rest of her body, which
Yeah.
it's
Again, just like personnel management. So she was conducting the assassination, but Django was watching her from like 100 yards away the entire time, just ready to dart her
And then,
as soon as
and
she
then he
fucked up.
darts her immediately from like 500 yards away, directly in the neck. Like, if he's that good, how fucking easy would it be to
Why
kill
didn't he
any of
just
these
do it?
fucking goofies?
And why not
Why
kill
didn't he just-
Obi-Wan right there?
Yes,
Yes.
these guys are lames. And, okay, this is another just thrilling Jedi Council scene. These are all really good. Samuel L. Jackson's fingers are not steepled.
Oh, by the way, I looked up what Sebulba's son's name was. It's Pugwis, Pugwis.
Hell yeah!
Cool.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Wait a
That
minute, pub
sounds
quiz?
real alien. Sounds real sci-fi.
Pub quiz?
Pub quiz.
Who won the Champions League in 2007?
Well, after Sebulba had his accident and couldn't race anymore, he had to subsist off going to the local pub in Tatooine and just doing the quiz machine and living off his earnings and winning the pub quizzes.
So we see here Anakin is getting closer to Palpatine or whatever his name is at this point in the film. The Galactic Chancellor or whatever. But it's really his life story is one of being passed up from being groomed at various levels in his life. First by Watto, then by Qui-Gon and Obi, and then eventually by an even older, more evil man.
Absolutely. Does Palpatine have a first name?
Sheev.
Sheev Palpatine.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sheev.
wait,
Sheev.
Yoda's got a little like floating chair again.
Totally unnecessary. He did a fake GoFundMe for that.
You know what? He's just lazy. He's just fucking lazy.
He did a fake GoFundMe for that thing, and then he used half the money to go on a vacation. Fucking asshole. Then he deleted his account.
Just like shave the hair when you're at that point, Yoda. Like the little wispy bits on top.
No, that'd be. Can you imagine having that wrinkly Yoda hair and like running a razor across it? Ugh.
Mods
Hire
are
a
asleep.
professional.
Mods are asleep. Everyone posts smooth Yodas to the timeline.
So in a movie originally, Jar Jar was
Is
gonna
that a pussy
speak
hat?
with real English. He was supposed to lose his
Patois?
Rastafarian.
Yeah.
The idea was like by being on Coruscant for the last 10 years, he'd become like civilized and had learned
That's even more racist.
senatorial
super racist.
language and had.
He's
they
supposed to sound
dropped
like an
it,
old rabbi.
unfortunately.
That's what they said Frank Oz was doing.
No, that's Yoda.
For Yoda.
Yoda,
Yoda, not Jar Jar.
We're talking about Jar Jar.
Oh, for Jar Jar. Oh, God, that's awful.
So why did they decide not to? Just because everybody loved the patois so much? But there was a fan write-in
Well, I
campaign
think
that said,
it was.
It's
keep
nice to
the
know
language.
in the future they still have Sterilite suitcases.
Well, this is technically the past.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
It's true. It's true. The luggage technology is.
You know what?
Very attention to detail in this movie. Where, like, in this scene, those little droids repairing the window that was smashed in the previous scene. They couldn't afford that kind of continuity in the 70s. Like, this is like one of the things that George Lucas was able to fix when he did these movies, is have more CGI robots.
If the window is broken in the first scene, repaired in the second scene.
And again, a perfect example.
Makes the world real.
A perfect example of what we talked about before, that George Lucas doesn't know why people like Star Wars or what made the original movies good. He's like, if only we had the technology to show a window repair unit in
See, and this is why I reject the people who say actually the prequels were the good ones, because that's pure uncut Lucas. I'm sorry, that's not what Star Wars is either. Star Wars was never about George Lucas.
Yeah.
He convinced himself
those
it was,
those
and
are
we
idiot
convinced him
nerds
it
that
was.
believe in auteur theory. way
Right,
too
and he
much.
convinced himself he was, and we helped convince him he was by telling him he was, and he went insane and made these movies which prove that it isn't him. These movies prove that Star Wars was not George Lucas.
So my take on the Star Wars trilogy of trilogies is that it's the story of like production in Hollywood over the last 40
But
years.
it's a reverse dialect.
Yeah, so we were talking about this last night. Is that so? The first movies are kind of in this new Hollywood, like these new like young visionary auteurs, and that's like kind of the story that's told. But the first Star Wars was deeply collaborative in terms of people like telling him what he could not do, like editing the script.
Also, people telling him, like, don't do that, George.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
He
Han
hired...
Solo should not be a giant lizard man.
He passing off the directing in the second two movies. Wait, let me and like his wife,
Marsha Lucas,
Marsha Lucas, redid the entire movie in editing.
Yes!
It exists the way that it is.
She put together the trench run. She put that together, and also she's the one that made Obi-Wan Kenobi die. Like, originally, George Lucas had him alive the whole movie. She's the one that said you actually have to kill someone to have some emotional weight here. And, like, originally, instead of, like, Obi-Wan saying, use the Force, Luke, he was just saying it over the radio next to Leia from the control room.
That sucks.
Quite late.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That sucks so much.
That's like
so the
that's like
first-
breaker,
so the first
breaker
movie-
on your 20, good
Look at
buddy.
that Airstream trailer of the fucking
That
ship.
does look like an Airstream.
So the first series is this series of like deeply collaborative, like blockbuster building in a system where you have real artists in a studio and artisans collaborating to create this deeply collaborative project that is then become iconic. So then you fast forward 20 years in the late 90s, and as you were just saying, Lucas gets it in his head, and society tells him that he is the sole author of it. And at this point, he has the material power to just go off and do it all himself.
Yeah, even
And-
insofar as like the casting is like, even if there are like some good actors in this, like the amount of like character acting that really carried the original movies is just because like,
Okay, here we
Carrie Fisher is fun, Harrison Ford is
Hell yes.
charming.
Yes.
we go.
Yes. Dexter Jetster's 50s Diner. Hell yes.
Chris, we'll get back to the third one in a second. we got to talk about Dexter
the
Jester.
third one. Yeah,
We got to stop though. We got to appreciate Dexter Jetster.
We have to address Dexter Jetster.
There is a 50s retro diner on Coruscant. Now,
Coruscant.
Well, how is there? What are the 50s two people on Coruscant? What does that mean? Why is this is literally like a American graffiti diner?
It's also on the like this has to be one of the most expensive pieces of property. It's on the surface of a planet that is like city down to the core.
Yeah.
And this is just on the top. This is in sunlight. Like this is
well, okay.
Oh, this
rent
is very
on this thing
tough.
is
You have to
insane.
understand, though. We have this here too. See, they're all Greek, and they all have this system with the diners.
is a space Greek.
You know Greeks, they got 4 arms, giant
Diners.
gizzards.
No,
I
this
would like to point
literally.
out-
This is the same hustle as the Greek diner ownership, where it's just like, how can you afford this real estate? And you know what? I don't ask questions.
Yeah.
I would like to
have
point out
seen
about
this guy around my suburb. Like
I would
this
like to
is a-
point out
there's a
about
big
Dexter
Greek
Jester.
population here.
He cooks hamburgers and has a gigantic protruding gut out of a dirty T-shirt, very similar to Phil Collins from Trailer Park Boys.
He also, I would like to say, Dexter's mustache is one of the most unsettling pieces of creature design in this entire series.
Yeah, really.
Oh, there's
gross.
another Sebulba.
Yeah, this is Sabuka. This isn't Sebulba.
Sambuca.
Is that
Chris,
is that a
continue.
lady
I'm sorry.
Sebulba?
Chris, I'm
was that,
sorry.
Matt?
I'm sorry that we cut you off. It's just we had to appreciate Dexter Jester.
Oh, no. This
I
is
also like
definitely...
that the existence of cloning is enough of a secret that Obi-Wan Kenobi, like one of the top placed Jedi, like who are like tied into the galactic government, doesn't know about that there's cloning going on. But this guy running a greasy diner, he knows the cloners, he knows about the cloning operations, he knows the planet they're on, and none of these people have any.
Well, that's
idea.
George Lucas. Like, well, in a detective movie, where do you go? Oh, to the diner owner. He knows everything.
That woman
That's it.
seems helpful, but she is very much a Warren supporter.
Oh, that is the Ur Ward supporter right there.
Mm-hmm.
We need sensible plans that the star system can get done.
When she was like 40 years ago, when she was like really politically active, she had like her Avi on the HoloNet. It was like her with a little mug that said, Jedi male tears.
Yeah.
She's one of those people.
And the Liberty Green background. Don't forget
She
that.
had really
Yeah.
short, straight bangs.
Why are all the Warren women librarians, and why are all librarians Warren women? I don't
'Cause they
know
love-
why.
'cause they love rules.
The lower librarians, like the boss librarians that are administrators are, but everyone who's like a regular, like reading books to children are Bernie people.
Yeah.
So it's actually like they've done the studies, and like most librarians work for like universities and museums and stuff, like really high paying expertise jobs where they have staff and stuff. But your cute little, Richard Scarry community librarian tends to be more of a Bernie supporter. But
I
those
wanna
are
point
technically
out-
called librarian assistants.
I want to point out here about this plot line where like they've given Anakin a mission of going like being Padme's bodyguard essentially. After
They're both undercover as well.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
on
under-
a refugee ship going to Naboo, but Anakin is like, this is the problem with the Jedi having mandated haircuts, is that he's supposed to be undercover while also wearing the haircut that literally only
Yeah.
the Jedi wear.
It's a
It's like
really
if-
distinctive haircut.
if it's like if a Hasidic Jewish guy had to go undercover and was still wearing the hat and let pay us.
God, these shots of people walking across lobbies.
Yes.
How many
Loves
minutes
lobbies.
of the star? Oh, this
the
is the
younglings,
stupidest thing.
the younglings, the younglings.
Oh God, no, not the younglings.
The younglings.
All of these children are going to be shot in the back by the next movie.
No, these children will all be murdered.
Or enslaved and turned into.
Also, I have to
people-
say the interiors
Jedi.
look really cheap and shitty compared to, say, like what came out around that time that looked amazing, like The Fifth Element.
The
Sure.
weird
Well,
thing
yeah,
about-
because those are real sets. This is just CGI horseshit.
No,
No,
that's
even
the thing.
when they're in like a lobby, though, it's like,
Yeah.
what is this carpet?
These
Like,
aren't.
yeah,
These backgrounds in the Jedi Temple, all that stuff, I think most of it is not CGI. What they did for these movies a lot, that people mistake for CGI, is that it was miniatures that they shot and then digitally used as the digital insert background. So they're all on green screen for all of this, but it's not a CGI background. It's an actual big miniature that they then insert into the background.
So then
So it
they
is
have
a
them
real
walking.
thing.
They have the person walking in front of the blown up miniature.
Yeah, basically.
Ah,
That's like a lot
all
of this
all
movie.
the actors are still on green screen.
Oh, they're
But this
still
is
on
one
green
of-
screen. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
and no matter what, it all looks like a fucking Ramada Inn.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
The Wyndham Wizard invites you to stay at the Jedi Council.
Well, it's because
The Jedi Council by
Lucas-
Wyndham.
George Lucas knew that at some point there would be a Star Wars hotel, which is currently being opened at Galaxy's Edge.
Yes,
And
well,
this is
now
like they
closed,
have
but
the
yes.
perfect. They have the plans to
Yeah.
from the movies to build the literal hotel lobby.
None of this shit looks even 1/1000th as good as any Trump hotel.
That's
in the
true.
country
The
or
man knows
world.
class and sophistication.
It does actually remind me of the Venetian.
Yes,
the
no,
entire
absolutely.
aesthetic of the interior of the Jedi Temple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Naboo is very much like the Venetian too.
Like if you go up to the next floor, there's like a Jedi who like didn't do too well in the Jedi exams, and his thing is that he just paddles around a gondola for like Jedi, for tourists to Jedi Temple to go about on the fake canals inside the Jedi
He uses
Temple.
his lightsaber as the little paddle.
Well, he uses the Force. Like he can do that
Yeah.
at least.
I will say about the digital filmmaking here, it does look terrible, but it's also like Lucas was shooting at the very limits of technology at this point. Like everything in here is simultaneously looks like shit and is revolutionarily groundbreaking.
A lot of this like.
And
Wait a minute, hold on a minute, guys. I never noticed this before. This line where she says,
Elected.
"I wasn't the youngest queen ever elected."
Yes.
Yes. The
Not
queens
that
are
means
elected.
one, not only that they elect queens and kings on Naboo, but two, they elect babies
Yeah,
and,
well,
and children
the-
because she
That's
was a
the ground.
kid.
You know what?
She
I
was a
think
kid.
it's a
in-
bit like Nepal, where they have like the baby queen, and
But,
you know,
that's not an elected position.
Yeah, how are they going to campaign?
How do you vote between babies?
The next king of Naboo. The next king of Naboo is Bart Harley Jarvis.
Matt, do you know what that made her? Matt, do you know what that made her?
What?
She was the boss baby.
Oh my God, she was the boss
He was a
baby.
boss baby.
She was 10 when she was elected, I believe.
Yeah,
It's
that's
actually
insane.
because
I'm sorry.
The
I'm sorry.
previous king, I think it was King Varuna, was like, there was a big scandal. It was like, kind of he was impeached basically, and Palpatine.
People found out he was eating boogers, and they.
Palpatine like set up Padme as like the hope and change candidate. That like we can't trust the establishment system. We have to vote for a literal child whose innocence will.
Ah.
This is canonical, by the way. Whose innocence will provide
Yeah.
a new beginning for the people.
Well, I think that's a good argument for why you should not elect babies
It's
into executive
Nepal.
positions.
It's where they have like the little baby that they pick, and they wait for a while, and her feet never touch the ground, and then yeah, there's precedent. I'm saying.
I don't know if there are elections for the baby kings.
Anakin's doing.
Yeah, I
He's
think
doing-
like a bunch of monks pick it in Nepal or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
Anakin is doing Jedi splaining here. He's cutting off a woman who's trying to speak her truth.
Well, he is like 17.
Nice
and
neckerchief.
and a student, and she is like an elected member of like.
She's grooming him.
galactic
I mean, come on.
This shit is
She's-
pervy.
She is merely the last in a whole line of groomers that have been in his life since he was a small child.
That's.
I like
that's why he
Obi-Wan's little
killed
ship
her.
here.
I
It was
actually,
like-
I do like that bit of like Star Wars shipping, like ships and stuff, like the little
the
exterior hyperdrive ring. I think that's very cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's fucking cool. It's a nice like. Oh, this isn't exactly like the old Star Wars, because in those ones the ships just shoot into hyperspace, and these ones you need to bring like your charger for the phone.
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
like, get into hyperspace.
Yes.
Your brick. No, I said this in the last one. I do like how all the technology and ships over the course of the series slowly kind of evolved to converge into the original series ships.
Okay, Camino is fucking cool. I love this. one.
Camino is cool.
This is just like a heavy metal cover.
Another alien species with a ludicrously long neck.
Just how would you
But
live?
that is what
I'm
I
sorry.
am going to look like at the end of this quarantine. You guys, I have lost so much weight. I am so svelte.
These guys are such a meme in the alien abduction community.
Oh yeah,
They look like
yeah?
Greys, yeah.
they do.
Well,
Well, they're tall grays.
yeah, like the tall greys are. I mean, they're usually like the leaders in alien abductions. They're the ones that orchestrate it. They don't have the short greys in these movies. These greys are also, they have mohawks and are Australian, which is different from the typical grey that people generally encounter.
Imagine getting abducted by an Australian
mate.
alien.
Right, gonna take a read up your paper here. Gonna take a look at it. Oh, blimey!
Give you a little probe.
This
Give you a probe here.
I think like this is the thing that hurt these movies the most for me. Wasn't all the other things, but when I was watching it, it was the fact that like episode 2 and 3 they shot in Sydney on the Fox sound stages there, and so they just hire local actors. So it was horrible. Just suddenly Star Wars is in the same accent. It became this thing. It became this thing that was like only British and American people, and we don't have those here when I was a kid. I never met any, so it was like this alien, otherworldly thing kind of, and then it's just everybody sounds the same as here. Suddenly.
What I don't
Just
get
like your
is
cousin.
see this doesn't
Yeah.
make sense that the people who created the clones were Australian, because if they were, it would have been called the Cloney Wars. Got some cloudies for you. Aye, you order some cloudies?
Clowny.
We got some
Haley-
cloudies for you, mate.
Haley, they should have filmed it in Sydney, but hired all actors and people from Boston to just like invade
Hell yes.
Sydney like a plague of locusts. You could get some real freaks, some real aliens.
I mean, we have real freaks here, but they didn't hire them. They didn't hire any bogans. Like that would have been more realistic for the. Oh shit! The way their legs move is so wrong.
They're a
just
ridiculous
noticed that.
species. They never
they don't
would have
move
existed.
right.
I just hate
Their
that.
knees are way too high.
I'd like there to just be some sort of basic like biology, you know, like some species just are not realistic in existing. A giant guy with a long neck like that walking on hind legs, give me a break.
Okay, I want to get back to my
This,
I want to get
this
hold on.
whole scene looks like it was shot on Channel Rye. Like it's just the most Italian bullshit.
Okay, I want to get back to my original point about this plot line here. We're like, okay, so first of all, the Jedi have to be celibate, apparently.
Yes.
Anakin is 17 years old. You know, his body coursing with midichlorians and hormones. And like the whole setup in the original is like Obi-Wan is like, you know, be careful, you can't get sprung for Padme. You know, you got to keep your emotions out of this. And then they give him a job to go away totally alone with her to this Italian villa, lakeside villa by themselves.
Yes.
What did they think was going to happen? They should have given her one of like they should have given her Kit Fisto or Mace Windu or one of the other Jedis. It would.
The thing is that he's still a Padawan. Like he has to go through the
Just
Jedi
kind of bitch work,
trials
yeah.
to become a Jedi Knight. And this is like one of the tests they put you through. Is like they tempt you with sex,
yes.
and then they spring you because they know you're gonna fall, and then they berate you and until like you're too fucked up inside.
That's how you brainwash
associations of
people.
Sex to ever do it again. You know, it's like a conversion therapy kind of thing.
The Jedi are stone freaks. There's no question about it.
The Jedi are fucking horrible. Like, I think about it, the Jedi would be absolutely the most fucking transphobic organization to be in Star Wars. The Sith would be, like, they'd be cool. They'd just be like, yeah, you know, like, follow your passion, go with whatever you need to go with. The Jedi are all about, like, no, all the things that you are feeling and your intuition is telling you, you have to quash those and adhere to this strict doctrine that we've been following for 1,000 years.
Yeah, and like
they would not fucking allow it. They'd be like, oh, yeah, you know, like, I know you want to take hormones and, you know, change who you are, but, like, that's giving in to passion and desire. Like, you have to fight. You can't do those. Like, Mace Windu, he's gonna take you to this room, okay? And some things are gonna happen, and you're not gonna feel these feelings after that happens. Like,
yeah, it is amazing how much the prequel trilogy just turns the Jedi, who we've been told in the original trilogy are these, like, noble warriors, into just one of the most awful organizations ever.
They're a warrior class of samurai dedicated fanatically to preserving the status quo at all costs.
Well, yeah, the reason we originally liked the Jedi is because you meet them after they don't have any power.
yeah.
they're all
um,
they're all the priests after they've been moved out of connections to the children's.
There's a reason why Obi-Wan and Yoda were in hiding.
Yeah, right.
And not going by their real names.
Yeah.
And luring young, impressionable boys to come, be taught by them in the woods.
Yeah. Lord help me, I'm back to the old me.
As soon as Obi-Wan sees a young Mark Hamill, he's like, back to that old shit.
Back to the old Jedi.
Oh, Lord help me.
Young Mark Hamill was a fucking twink. Like,
oh my God.
Definitely.
He was like a real himbo fanboy.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, these creatures here in this field are the worst ever portrayed in the Star Wars universe.
Which ones?
You'll see in a second. They just have
Kiwis.
big asses. They got big badonkadonks.
You would not be able to have... This would be just... You could not have, like, the emotional heart-to-heart. They're surrounded by, like, infinite waterfalls in this area. Like, the sound of that.
Definitely, yeah.
The legislative youth program? What the fuck kind of cult-ass shit is this? Oh, yeah, I met him in the legislative youth program. What, before you were a 10-year-old queen?
Yeah, we were in the anti-sex league together for a while.
We wrote pages for Mark Foley.
I think we did. We would be.
She was
remiss
Harvey
if we
Weinstein's
didn't acknowledge-
intern for a while on a free basis. Her dad got her in that job.
We would be remiss if we didn't at least comment on, which I think we skipped right over, the coarse sand line.
I hate sand. It's coarse. It gets everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Not like you.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah,
you are
show me
the
the
opposite
lie.
of sand.
Show me the lie.
And she
I hate
is
sand.
the
I hate
opposite of
sand
sand.
too. I don't even like beaches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You're
she is.
smooth and you're nowhere over me. Like, you're not giving me anything.
And you have to admit that she is the opposite of sand. Like, she is not coarse. She's smooth. She doesn't get everywhere. She's in one place at a time.
Yeah,
This is
and
This is like
sitting
the
and
most
sitting with
realistic
Anakin,
shit,
sitting with
though.
Anakin next to a waterfall. She's wet as hell. Am I right? Woo! Woo!
just like watching. I'm just watching her facial expressions, the way he's talking to. This is like, I've been in this. Like, you meet a guy and he just starts talking. You're like, oh yeah. Yeah.
We've all been on a date like this, where a guy starts like surfing a wildebeest in front of you, or awful. He's trampled
And
by
he's
it.
farting. The thing's farting.
It's farting.
Hell yes, there's farting.
What are these creatures? They're awful. Awful.
She's trying to make
Hayley,
sure that he's dead. Like, it's like a concussion. If I just grab his head and just
Look at this.
fucking
Look how
slam
sexy
it.
this is.
That is hot.
This is so sexy.
Oh my God, I'm getting all riled.
I don't know what it is about the lighting and the color grading.
The
and
thing where they
it looks
just roll
so
down the
fucking
hill
cheap.
and then they don't even get a close up. They don't even cut to a close up. It's just
This
them
shit is
like
good.
lying on top of each other at the bottom of a hill.
The fucking pterodactyl coming out of the water and flying over the city. Like, that is so heavy metal. That's just like,
Yeah.
it's great. He knew good places to steal iconography from.
No, I mean, you're right. All the Camino stuff is very cool. This battle that's about to happen is probably the
That's
best
probably
part
the
of this
only
movie.
good like actual fight or set piece in these movies.
But this right here reminds me of all the things that are infuriating, namely Boba Fett being turned into like this legendary figure. He was just some asshole. He had cool armor and he got killed very quickly and
He
easily.
does nothing. He
does
loads
nothing.
Captain Solo into the cargo. He doesn't even do that. He instructs the stormtroopers to do that. He does nothing.
And then
Yeah,
he
but
gets
he brings some, masculine energy to this nerd fest, and I think that's really what people were responding to.
they could have got a new guy. The idea that like this character is that important is absurd. That actually
One of my favorite.
he's a clone of
favorite
all of the warriors who fought the Clone Wars. Get out of here.
One of my favorite Star Wars ancillary things is that behind the scenes photo of the guy who is playing Boba Fett with his helmet off, and it's just like a 45-year-old bald guy with a mustache.
He's got sides,
from-
glasses, and a
got
mustache.
side
Well, that's
seeing.
because that guy, that was for the special edition. Like they added a bunch of stuff to that Jabba the Hutt sequence. So that was like additional Boba Fett stuff they shot in the 90s, and they just got guys from the effects department to put on the Boba Fett. They did. They put on the Boba Fett costume and stand there. So that's just like, that's an animator. That guy. That's a real 90s animator.
Wait a minute, are you telling me that Boba Fett doesn't actually look like Dennis Rader?
I think this is actually, for this movie, this is a good scene. Like, it has some tension and there's like something going on. There's a character who has an intention. There's another character who's hiding information from him. It's the closest it kind of comes to actually being like functional storytelling.
Yeah, and like they're gonna they both know that they're gonna conflict later.
Yeah,
they're like
see it in their eyes. You kind of want them to. You kind of want them to make out a little bit.
Also, yes, absolutely.
And also between Obi-Wan and the cloners, there's an interesting tension there of like where they presume to know him, and like even though he doesn't know what's going on, he has to play along in a weird way. There's an uncanniness
little
there.
Italian villa fucking.
Oh wait, this scene is great. This scene is great. We have to watch this. This is my favorite scene in the movie.
By the way, what a useless table!
Jedi.
Look at the shape of that table. That is a useless table.
Oh, here we go. Eating a pear with a fork and knife? Nope. Just gonna use the Force to peel it for you.
Why is she dressed like a crow?
He'd be very grumpy.
You can just eat a pear.
To send signals, but she's wearing like a.
Wait a minute, is he just telling her that they need to keep secrets? He's learned from the masters.
You can eat.
Don't tell anyone about this.
If there's one thing I've heard from all my Jedi trainers is this is our little secret.
I'd fucking hate to be in the booth. You'd have to eat pears for dinner. Like, you're this rich, you have this villa, and all you have is pears.
You just have constant diarrhea. No protein, no fat.
Why don't they have a big side?
It looks like Italy. Why isn't there some freaking red sauce?
Yeah.
No,
some freaking
A little
braciole.
bit of fish.
Like the Flintstones. They should have a big side of one of those fart beasts from the earlier scenes.
Yes.
They actually
you eat one pear.
They cut out a lot of shit in this movie. There's a whole subplot where they go to meet her family, and you get to meet Padme's parents and her sister. Yeah.
Meet the parents?
There's like multiple scenes where Anakin meets her family and parents, and she's having discussions with her sister about like how she feels about Anakin and stuff.
That's amazing. Were the parents cast with
My heart is
anyone
beating.
knows?
I mean, it's all shot. Like, the deleted scenes, you can go watch them.
They're not celebs, the parents?
No, they're just more jobbing actors from Sydney, I think.
Okay. Well, then fuck them. I only wanted to know if it
would
was
have been fucking
celebs.
great if her, like, parents were just, like, super woggy. Like, they just had, just, like, this, like, you know, like, they go to meet her parents and, like, her mum just keeps bringing out, like, more frozen lasagnas for Anakin to take back with them.
Her brother is Luke Brady.
It probably actually is like all the extras that they have in the Matrix too. These things would have been shooting right around the same time in the same place.
Yeah, we live in the real world where people stop being polite and start getting real.
By the way that Amidala she abdicated the throne to become a senator, right?
Yeah.
You know who else did that? Abdicated their throne to become the civilian head of government? Prince Sihanouk of the Cambodia.
It feels very much like Putin, like, stepping down from president to become prime minister. It's a very, like, shallow transfer of power. Well, because Palpatine was the senator in Phantom Menace, and, like, he's the one with all the power in that movie. Like, she's the queen. She can't do anything.
We can agree that she's not doing a Tony Benn, you know, and, like, giving up her title to actually fight for the people. Like,
I mean, honestly, having spent last movie on Naboo, I don't want her to do anything for any of the disgusting creatures on that planet, whether they be the awful idiot frogmen or the stupid soy-based idiots in Naboo. They all suck.
There's also no people on Naboo. Like,
there are two types of people. There are frog imbeciles, and there's like a couple of valets who got defeated by some Roombas.
It's basically the population of Vatican City, and then just a gigantic indigenous race of frog people that they rule over. And they have...
Yeah.
And somehow it is the
got a Padawan
ground
braid as
zero.
well.
Yeah, how is there? Yeah, they need to
And
talk
these are
about
the
that.
good guys.
They have
These are the
apartheid.
good
I'm assuming they
guys.
have apartheid on Naboo because otherwise all the senators and shit and the queen would be Gungans.
Yeah, there's like a real gerrymandering problem.
Yeah.
Like, none of
It's
the
like
votes
everybody
from the-
makes a big deal about Jar Jar being a Gungan senator, but shouldn't they all be?
Like if you look at what the DNC and Naboo did, like they closed all the polling stations in the Gungan areas.
in the Gungan city.
In the swamp,
All
in
the
the
areas that were-
underwater city,
Yeah.
there was one polling location in the
Both the
underwater
Gunga,
city.
Yeah,
like
more-
all the pre-polling
more
suggested it was going to
completely-
go for Bernie.
Inappropriate and impractical furniture that works for nobody at all.
No.
What is he?
Just giant, like these ottomans.
Samuel
are
L. Jackson
very
is trying to
uncomfortable.
say
They're metal.
crisscross applesauce. He's like a 60-year-old man. Like, that's not... that
Yeah,
can't
no,
be
he was like
comfortable
60
for
when
him.
that, yeah. God, Yoda looks like shit.
Those
Yes, he
CGI
somehow
ears,
looks
though, like
worse.
they couldn't do the ear twitching in the originals. It's like the way, that's what George Lucas wanted to be able to do, is have like that little CGI ear twitch, but they couldn't.
That's
do it.
what
Now they
matters.
can.
That's what matters more than anything.
Like you could, like this scene of Yoda sitting on. You couldn't do that with practical effects.
And
There's no
honestly-
way to achieve that.
And there's nothing you get from the practical effect of a real creature really occupying space that makes up for the ability to do a nose crinkle like that.
See, the thing to remember is that George Lucas wants to have as little contact with people as possible. And
Yes.
so, like, all of this just allows him to not have to talk to other people. It's why,
Yeah.
like, there's no Ralph McQuarrie on these movies. There's no
Yeah.
Kasdan. There's no, there's some other, there's like Gary
Oh.
Kurtz. There's no Marsha Lucas. Like, all the people that he had to talk to and deal with as humans and listen to their opinions. He doesn't have to do that. Like,
Yeah.
from what
Here's
I heard, there was basically
No.
a silent rule to never talk to George Lucas unless he spoke to you in Lucasfilm. Like, that's how he wanted it.
I do want to do a quick plug real quick, which is that if you want to know everything there is to know about digital filmmaking in this movie in particular, I recommend the episode of the Blank Check podcast with J.D. Amato and their Attack of the Clones series. It's actually incredibly interesting about like how these movies are made and what technology they were using.
Also, Star Wars Minute
She got a
Show is
perm.
good to finalists show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how good the lovin'
That's how
was,
good the
if you
D
ever
was.
permed
Yeah, her hair got permed by that Jedi pipe.
It's
Here, okay,
this
here's an-
is
Curl
so-
and locks.
This is so upsetting to watch. Like he's had sex the first time, and he's just been standing out on the
Yep.
balcony all night, staring into the distance.
Totally normal. Totally normal response to losing your virginity.
But, you know, it makes
and thinking
sense.
about his mother and talking about his mother.
Talking about your mother. And
No, it
and
makes
suffering.
sense. It makes sense given his lifetime of sexual abuse. He would
Yes.
probably have pretty bad associations with his own
Yep.
sexuality.
It's true.
He's been having to be like gay for enlightenment instead of gay for pay for the years, and now he's been with a woman, and it's fucked him up. It's just, it's really disturbing, and
This is
very
also-
upsetting to watch. I'm still a
also
bit high
cha-
from last night. This is not good. This is really bad vibes.
This is also channeling the Italian energy of the location into her getting that very like
Yeah,
lady
it's a
firm,
very like
and
Yeah,
him-
she looks like she's on an olive oil bottle.
Yeah.
and then
This
and
would
then
have
him
been-
having sex and immediately being like, "Oh my Rome, what have I done? What would my mother think?"
Yes,
so
My
much
mama
better
is
if
crying.
everybody on Naboo had
well,
been
and also
Italian
just in
stereotypes.
Greek mythology too.
No, it's like
If she had been like a good like Catholic girl, like just a real
Yeah.
groggy actress, it would have been so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, this scene is pretty cool though with the jetpack and
Yeah.
the twin blasters.
My
That's
noodles
kind of
are
hot.
here.
Yeah.
That kind of goes.
I liked young Boba as a kid because I was his age, and I was like, he's got a
Ooh,
little
how did you not kill him with that
he's
direct
firing
hit
a
from a
slave
missile?
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yo, how is
This
he
is
not
like the
dead?
only-
They hit him like. Oh God.
He's got the
This
force.
This is like the
He's got
real
force
video
power.
gamification of
Oh,
Star
God.
Wars, is that you
Yeah,
just
that,
get you get shot by lasers and it just lowers your HP. It doesn't do
Yeah.
anything to you.
No, but yeah, like back to Anakin. He has his first ever consensual sexual experience, and then immediately has a vivid
And
nightmare about his mother.
It wasn't like she was clearly like manipulating him. Like he's going on about, oh, we can't do this. she's wearing that outfit. She's saying, "Oh, we can't." And then the next morning, she's like, "Well, yeah, obvious. Like, I knew we were going to do it. I knew you'd say yes eventually." Like, she's wearing him down. It's not.
I like these like super powered flying jump kicks are stupid, but I like the parts of this fight that are just like them punching each other, which is not something you see much in the Star Wars world. It's like just hand-to-hand combat. Obi-Wan dangling.
Yep.
As he does constantly in these movies.
He was dangling off the assassination drone. Now he's dangling here.
Oh, yeah.
He dangles off I remember the little node in the first one. He's hanging off in the big pit, and he leaps up. Yeah. I remember having to recreate that when it was my turn to play Obi-Wan in the playground.
That's also part of my Star Wars prequel drinking game. Anytime Obi-Wan is dangling, you take a drink.
Yeah,
Also,
that motherfucker dangles
anytime
like
someone
crazy.
drops a lightsaber and there's a shot of the lightsaber landing on the ground.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
I mean, the first one that I said is anytime there's a wipe, but that would be a good way to get blackout.
Anytime there's a scene where the camera is just filming a hallway, drifting slowly behind two people walking, having a conversation.
All right, my bit of Star Wars trivia is that, we all know, like, Lucas sort of like really ceded control on Empire and Jedi when they're probably for the better for them. But I think it's pretty much acknowledged that Empire is the best of the Star Wars films. Empire Strikes Back. The director of photography on Empire Strikes Back is a guy named Peter Szyszewski or something like that. It's sort of like a Polish sounding name. I'm probably not pronouncing it correctly, but important to me, he is the longtime collaborator of David Cronenberg, who was offered Return of the Jedi at one point.
That's true.
And Lynch, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, Lynch too.
Could you imagine what those movies would have been like?
Oh my God. Oh my Lord. I don't know.
Wait. Here, let me finish my thing about the trilogy of trilogies.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the prequel trilogy is like George Lucas going complete ownership. I'm the author, and it kind of fits in with like that late '90s, like blockbuster auteurs like the Wachowskis or Cameron doing Titanic, or even like Michael Bay,
Peter Jackson.
Here
Peter
he
Jackson.
is.
It's Watto.
It's the little...
Hey, he's back.
Yeah, he's got a little cap.
In case you forgot,
I
this
love
is what
the hat.
Jews are
The
like.
hat is so good. He's the best fucking character in these.
I love Watto. Watto rules.
We love Watto.
He has such great
Don't we,
energy.
folks?
He's got personality. But
He's
it's
contemptuous of the Jedi. He's which you should be. As Felix described, he is a very good slave owner, as those things go.
Well, that's the thing, is that like he was never a slave. Like he was mind tricked by the Jedi and to think, oh yeah, I've got a house, my mother who loves me, I get to have this, house droid for her to look after, I'm fed. And then the Jedi come and like, no, actually, if your real freedom is when you come to our temple on Coruscant, your mother can't come.
The Jedi
Sorry,
100%
there's not enough room.
kidnapped him. They absolutely kidnapped and trafficked him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
This is what's been going on in Haiti under the country.
Yes. Yes, that Oprah
Or like
Winfrey
happened in
Academy in South
Vietnam.
Africa too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You, Mia Farrow.
Okay, Chris, what's the
Okay, and then the
final,
third, sequel trilogy, that is when the studio becomes the author of the piece.
not just the
And they
studio,
take it away.
not just the studio, but like a major global corporation.
Yes, basically, and they take it away from the original author for whatever vision he has, and are like, no, this is pure product and only exists to be a series of numbers on a balance sheet, and anything that actually takes place in the movie is secondary to that, and so everything is decided from, instead of an individualist way, as maximalist way as possible,
Also-
which leads to like an equal-
one size fits none. Like pure,
exactly.
pure by committee. By committee, yes.
Yes, by committee.
They have a literal committee. They have the Lucasfilm Story Group. Like it's part of their happily advertised. It's part of their thing is, these movies are good because we have 10 Star Wars experts who go into a room and decide what Star Wars is and tell J.J. Abrams, this is what we want the Star Wars to be.
Yeah, and,
Which is
this scene is pretty cool. The chase through the rings of this planet. This is actually pretty good.
The sound of these fucking bombs.
Oh, the mines are very. Yeah, that's cool.
Some of his best fucking shit.
Yeah.
in these movies.
Which
It's so satisfying.
which leads to as incoherent and bizarre of a series structure as the new ones. And as Matt was helping me think out yesterday, it is like a reverse dialectic that you start with something that is good because it has all these elements mixed together, and then over the course of 30 years,
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
That's so good.
That
and
rules.
over the course of 40 years, you deconstruct it into the parts that on their own make it
Shitty.
bad and incomprehensible.
Yep.
It's the Hans
we're
Zimmer.
talking
It's the
about,
Hans
like-
Zimmer drop.
Yep.
Yeah. Hans Zimmer stole everything he knew from Ben Burt on these movies.
Oh, of course.
I love it when the spaceships they have little lights that light up their. It's so good.
It's
Yeah.
Google Maps.
All
They
the
got
little
headlights.
the little tracker grids that all the spaceships have that just have those like 2 coordinate planes.
These
that
asteroids
move
look
around.
like
This
fucking
sponge
shit.
of an asteroid.
Yeah.
They look like the beginning of Uncut Gems when you're going through.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Intestines, yeah.
Yeah, this is actually George Lucas's asshole.
He honestly should have done that. Put some of his
His colon
footage
in this
from his
movie.
last doctor's appointment.
I was just thinking that, like, all of this stuff, like, you could be tempted to think that, like, all the stuff about the Anakin pedophilia subplot is just us projecting this stuff onto the movie. But, like, George Lucas worked really hard to work a pedophilia subplot into Raiders of the Lost Ark, so I kind of think it's part of the text.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like, he was really insistent on.
Wait, remind me. What was the
having been, like,
pedophilia
forcing-
subplot in Raiders?
So in Raiders, when Indy, meets with Marion, and then she's working in that bar in
Like Mongolia or something? Nepal? Yeah, Nepal.
yeah, Nepal. And like Indy knows her because he was like her dad's like
Oh,
research
right,
assistant or
right.
archaeological assistant, and they had a relationship together. In the movie, she's like, "I was a child," and he's like, "You knew what you were doing." That's literal. Like the intention is that she was like 12 years old when Indy had this relationship with her behind her father's back.
Ugh.
It's not good. Like there's the transcripts. Yeah, George Lucas. I was thinking this old guy could have been his mentor. He could have just known this little girl when she was just a kid, had an affair with her when she was 11. Kasdan, and he was 42. He hasn't seen her in 12 years. Now she's 22. It's a real strange relationship.
I'll say, Jesus Christ. That makes you wonder, who are the real bad guys in Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Lucas.
Yeah.
Lucas. He's 35, and he knew her 10 years ago when he was 25 and she was only 12. Lucas. It would be amusing to make her slightly young at the time. Spielberg. And promiscuous. She came on to him.
Oh, paging Nick Mullen.
Lucas.
Jesus.
Oh,
15
boy.
is right on the edge. I know it's an outrageous idea, but it is interesting. Once she's 16 or 17, it's not interesting anymore. If she was 16 and he was 25.
Very interesting.
And
Isn't
they
it?
actually had
Wow.
an affair the last time they met, and she was madly in love with him. Spielberg, she has pictures of him.
Oh,
Wow.
They have-
wow.
That they have this all so clearly played out in their
Yeah.
heads. Like they had
Not
like
good.
many late night bull sessions where they were spitting back and forth, being like, "No, she's 12, but she came on to him."
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
not good.
It's,
Not good.
not
And
good.
I just love that they recorded. George Lucas' secretary had to type all this stuff out, where she's listening to her employees plot out whether or not it's better that this child is 12 or 15 when she has sex with Harrison Ford.
And also, I like they say if she were 16 or 17, it wouldn't have been interesting.
Would it be interesting?
It wouldn't be interesting
get
at all.
out of here.
It would be
Boring.
interesting to,
I
I don't
don't
know,
think
it would be interesting to the authorities, probably.
When you think about American Graffiti and Harrison Ford in that movie where he's just driving around with a literal underage child the whole night,
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
God.
Yeah.
there's a
Well,
real thing in these
Look,
movies
if
of
this
Harrison
was true,
Ford
then
dating underage
I think we should really
girls.
ask Steven Spielberg about this, or maybe his close personal friend and business partner David Geffen.
Yep. Oh, it's this guy again.
Oh, this asshole! I hate him.
Everyone
Shut
hates
the
him.
fuck
He's
up.
the worst.
No, Americans hate him. Everyone else loves C-3PO. Just literally, I've
he's
only ever heard
awful.
Americans complain about C-3PO.
No.
He's terrible.
You all hate him. You think he's spineless and cowardly and
He
pathetic.
doesn't do
He
anything.
is.
He's the soul of Star Wars. He's like
whines.
he's the audience. Is it? Like,
He whines.
If he is the audience, then the films are revealing their contempt
Joel
for the
Edgerton
audience,
here.
which I
I've got,
respect. I respect.
I-
And actually, if that's the take, then I like him now. Now I think he's good.
got
Young Emperor, kind of a dime.
Absolutely.
I got Joe Egerton's autograph from the time he was filming this. He was shopping in my dad's store, and they were like, "Oh, you're in that new Star Wars," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm playing a stormtrooper," and he signed a T-shirt for me there when he was doing this movie.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
Wait,
I
was
do no
Joel
longer
Egerton
have
like
it.
a known actor in Australia at this point?
I don't think so. I think my parents recognized him as an actor, but I had no idea who the fuck he was. I only know who he was at all because of this movie.
We have a lot of really nice plastic products around here.
Yeah. The
Tatooine is
yeah,
like
Tatooine,
they
yeah.
move so much Tupperware in Tatooine.
I also
One
like
of
in
the
this
What-
scene.
what I
few
was
economies
moving.
they have, like, between the slaves, is they all just sell each other Tupperware.
I like-
Anakin's
yeah, it's
main
like
job
Mormons.
was just like unpacking the Tupperware from the back of the space truck.
You know, Tatooine does look a lot like Utah, and Mormons also love selling Tupperware to each other.
This guy is apparent like the
I want to
dad
point
who
out,
bought the
yeah,
wife.
yeah. In this scene, Anakin meets the guy who bought his mother from
Yes.
Watto and then married
Yep.
her. And then now that she's been like abducted, he basically tells her like, "Yeah, it's too much trouble to find her. I'll buy a new
My
wife."
baby's acting up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I seen your mother. I bought her, then I married her. Then she disappeared
Yada, yada, yada.
out looking for mushrooms one day. We haven't bothered.
yeah.
I really loved your mother, who I bought and has mysteriously disappeared, and we have made no effort to look for.
Would you
It's
like
weird.
some blue milk?
Yeah, it's
I
weird.
believe the milk is red in that scene.
Oh man.
Also, the fact that it
These
never
shots look
occurred to
fucking
him
good,
that, like, this might be... Also, how long did it
Awkward?
take him to, like, reach out? Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. How about you go and get your mom back immediately, like
You
you
could
said you were going to
call.
do when you were a kid?
You could call your mother.
Call your mother,
Sometimes-
Anakin.
Send a hologram. Send a hologram.
Some-
Come on.
Sometimes you're just at capacity, and you can't.
Yes.
You can't. It's emotional energy, is what it is.
It's low key
Great
kind of
music.
gross.
Great music. This music
Yeah,
is so
definitely.
much better than this movie.
Oh no, all of it is. John Williams is the only true auteur of the Star Wars films.
I like the physics when he zooms off in the speeder bike.
It's actually a swoop bike. You can tell by the distinctive way the front angles forward, whereas the speeder
Yeah,
bike
it's like a it's like a chopper.
You
chopper.
fucking
Yeah. Straight
idiot,
line.
Chris. You absolute moron. That you couldn't tell the difference between those two things. How
Oh, yeah,
fucking
the speeder-
dare you?
And I love this shot of the Jawa sand.
Yeah, that's
crawlers.
pretty good.
That's really
shit.
good. I like that a lot.
This is almost like Dune shit.
Yeah.
This
And
is,
that's
I
all,
guess this,
you know that's all
this
painted,
is supposed
too.
to
That's
be
all
like
painted.
the James Dean kind of stuff. Like that's what Hayden Christensen is trying to channel with his voice is like James Dean. And like the whole kind of the motorbike thing, like that's what that's supposed to be.
Yeah, as you were talking at the like our intro, there's just too many things in this movie. It's like, and that is one of the things that makes Star Wars good is that it like meshes up all
Yeah,
of these
that's why it's-
pulp
like-
influences, but it just like ricochets back and forth between like things that it's supposed to be being.
Like
so
I
much.
vibe with this so much. Like it's like I don't know, maybe like I have ADHD. Like when I make things, I just like to put all the things that I like together into a thing. Like I was trying to record a thing with my partner the other day, and they actually know how to do music, and it was like they were trying to explain to me that to make like a music, you can't just put all the different sounds that you like together and it sounds good. But that's like that's how I would do it. It's like, yeah, I like this sound and this sound and this sound, and none of them fit together. They're all completely different, but I want to put them all together because I like them all.
Well, that's what's
like
good about
George
that's what's good
Lucas's
about
approach.
drawing, though, is you can do that more
Yeah,
easily with
exactly.
pen and ink. You know.
This is just different movies that George Lucas he's like 60 at this point. Like he's just thinking about the past. These are different movies George
Yeah.
Lucas remembers from the 50s, and he's just refilmed them as Star Wars.
Yeah. Including, like, American Graffiti for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he
Dexter
has the
Jester
emotion.
is like right out of American Graffiti.
I was just like,
yes.
I was just remembering, like, what I forgot to mention in that scene is that there's the Flo robot, but there's there's also a human who's working in the diner as well, just wearing like a 50s diner outfit. And I want like a book about like her life because she looks like shit in that scene. Like
This guy's cool.
She looks busted. Like, and I want to know like the story of like the one human working in Dexter Jets' diner.
Oh yeah, she's
I
a
would love
Tom
to know that
Tom Waits song. We know she's got that.
So what is
Christmas
the,
card from a diner waitress on Coruscant.
Yeah.
What is there
Obi-Wan,
like
I'm
some,
pregnant.
There's the so he just like missed the banking clan guy.
Yes.
That
yeah.
weird skinny face guy.
I love the banking clan guy.
So what is there any noticeable racisms with like?
I gotta say, the banking
caricature?
clan guy, they zigged when you thought they'd zag, and they went large forehead instead of nose. So it's like I don't even know what he's supposed to be.
Yeah,
He's
it's not
that's
J.K.
the same
Rowling in charge
species
here.
As Darth Plagueis.
Really?
He's a banking
That
clan
great
guy.
great
Yeah, that's
physics
a
in
species.
that jump, by the way. That made a lot of sense. That looked like how
Yeah,
things
yeah.
fall.
Wait a minute.
These little dingo things.
All right, he's about to do some genocide.
This is
Doing that side.
Wait a minute. You said that the forehead guy is the same race as Darth
Darth
Plagueis.
Plagueis. Yeah.
I'm
But
sorry,
he's a
but I'm
moon.
pretty sure Rise of Skywalker says that all of the Sith are just clones of Palpatine.
That's not what it's saying.
Isn't it?
I dispute. No.
What
Like,
the fuck
it's
is
like,
happening?
Like the spirit, like the Sith.
I gotta
like
say,
each
for a
time-
slave, her nails look amazing. Like, the rest of her looks like shit, but look at that manicure. Do you know what my nails look like after this fucking quarantine? I got a gel manicure, fucking growing out, look like
Look.
shit, and I'm inside all the time. Somehow, this bitch is a hand model.
When you buy a wife, like you keep her in style. You know, you make sure that she can go down to the nail salon.
Especially when you got moisture farmer money.
Yeah.
I love to go on cute little dates with my slave wife.
I love going to Tashi Station with the old slave wife.
When you send your slave
throwing
wife,
that wet money all around.
like you don't want
Those
your
wet
slave
credits.
wife going out picking mushrooms all day and coming back with like disgusting mushroom fingers. You get her to go and like get her nails done.
Yeah.
When she comes home.
She doesn't care at all that her life has been awful
Yeah,
ever since her
because
only child left her.
He
because
hasn't
she's
even
mar-
checked in before now.
He's never checked in.
incredibly-
This
is like a
asshole
real
literally
dark fucking
never
turn.
checked in on her once.
On
And
his
yes,
slave mom.
If you were showing
was-
these, like, you think about like insane adults who,
Here's another
like,
great-
parents who force their children to
prequel
watch
death
these
scene.
movies in marathons, and
Yeah.
like
Groaning.
you go from Anakin baby, with his mom, and then like she's been
I
like
fucking love every
gang
death
raped by
scene.
Tusken Raiders in
Yeah.
the sequel.
Yeah.
It's a real dark turn.
Yeah,
it's very
this
dark.
implies like it's never explicitly said, but it is
It's
very, very dark.
It's
Yeah.
very horrible.
Yeah, she's on that like rack thing.
Yeah. It's very disgusting.
If you've ever seen like the CGI like little videos on Pornhub where like which is like about like what Lara Croft like getting fucked by the baddies in Tomb Raider, like this is the kind of shit they're implying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, he's angry
Oh,
now.
that's his angry face.
He looks
by-
so
by the
bad.
way,
He
I've-
looked
by
like
the
He
way,
has to
I-
avenge his mother that he completely ignored until very
Yeah.
recently.
Yes.
By the way, I've never seen those videos, so I don't know what you're talking
Also,
about.
he looks mildly annoyed at most that his mom's dead.
Listen to the no here.
No.
That no is so bad.
Ah!
They couldn't get Liam Neeson back to do the no, so they
Oh,
just threw in a
Jesus.
random one.
Yeah.
Because I think it took him too long for Neeson to realize what he was.
Yeah.
My God, what am I representing here?
He came back and did Clone Wars, though.
Sicko.
He came back to do that.
Wait, what, the animated series?
Yeah,
He was
did,
a
like,
voice. He did the voice.
He's like Qui-Gon is in the Clone Wars, like as like a spirit and shit. And yeah, Liam Neeson came back to do like 4 or 5 episodes.
Actually, he ended up meeting and offending Samuel L. Jackson so much because he had this experience as a young man, and so they didn't want him back for the second movie because
He was angrily stalking around the set looking for Samuel L. Jacksons to confront.
There's a bit in here where I don't know if it's this scene or the next one where there's a lot of scenes of Obi-Wan and the transmitter, but he refers to the Jedi Temple as the old folks' home at one point.
Hell yeah.
Coming up, which raises
like
a lot
an
of
olive.
questions.
Widen the range.
Widen the range.
Look at that
This
gross
is before
hair.
they introduced 5G into the Star Wars universe, which is what led to the rise of the Empire.
Yes, exactly. Just like COVID was caused by 5G.
I don't get that conspiracy theory.
Why is he going back to talk to his family? We specifically forbade him from ever talking to his mother and getting any perspective on what's been happening to him.
Right,
It was
and-
supposed to be our secret.
Oh, I love these little guys.
I think those are supposed to be womp rats.
Oh, there's womp
Yeah,
rats?
yeah.
So, I just love any scene with R2-D2 just by himself, whistling to himself. It's the fucking best
He
shit.
carries the scene. I'm sorry. I love him. I love
Always.
that little guy.
Kenny Baker, what a fucking king.
Yeah.
Just in that robot dustbin.
Yeah.
In the fucking desert in Tunisia.
Yeah.
Oh
this
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
And also,
Right.
famously hated Anthony Daniels. They hated each other through all of these movies.
So funny.
Gee, I wonder
So
which
their
one.
relationship is real.
Anakin's
Yes.
just returning
but
your
Anthony
property
Daniels,
here.
I believe, is the one who has a universal reputation in the Star
Oh,
Wars
he's a
community as being
complete
huge
piece of
prick.
shit. He's an asshole.
So that means Kenny Baker once again.
Also, this might be bad of me, but I always assumed he was gay, but he's straight.
What? Anthony Daniels?
Anthony
is
Daniels, he
straight?
has a wife.
I looked it up once because I'm like, there's no way
He
he's
is
not.
British.
But he's just
British,
really
This is my favorite
British.
line in the series.
He's that kind of gay British.
Yeah, what British?
Richard E. Grant.
The word is British. Yes.
Anakin's line coming up is my favorite.
And
My
I
favorite,
heard you
oh
my God, I
some
love this
children. Would you like some
caftan.
milk?
With the weird mandala over her pussy.
Yeah, and 2 days he's been away killing children.
She had to
She's got
die because you
totally into New Age
ignored
religion.
her for
Because
the
you
last
ignored
15
her.
years.
Yeah,
why didn't you?
if
Why
you'd
didn't
done
you?
literally anything. Oh my
If- if
God.
He's so-
Natalie
if he had
Natalie Portman is making turquoise jewelry in Sedona in this scene.
I just love the way that thing. I love the way that exchange goes. You're not all powerful, Annie. Well, I should be. Little,
As
Queen
soon as she gets-
Amidala in that scene, she has never been vaccinated.
She's
None
never
of her
been
children have been vaccinated.
She's
I
got,
know, I love
she's
these
got
lines
a
of
jade
vaccine.
egg in her pussy right now.
I
Yeah,
love he's he's like, why did she have to die? Why couldn't I save her? If you had called a week earlier, you would
Yeah.
have, dude. 1 week, that's all it would have taken.
This time that he's been away, she's been convinced to do the thing where you go to those menstruation farms and
Right.
let your menstrual blood go into the crops to fertilize them with moon energy.
Totally.
When she gets back to Naboo, she's putting beaded curtains and incense everywhere in her apartments.
It's her new thing.
Even,
This is-
oh
there's
yeah,
no
even the
better
children.
She had
Not just the men.
Her 17-year-old boyfriend has just murdered
Yeah,
an entire
children.
village.
Genocide.
She's got to find something to deal with this.
Matt, do you remember what you said
I
last
know
night
a lot
about
of
this
girls.
scene?
I know a lot of women, like my girlfriends. They would have left the minute their boyfriend killed a village of sand people, but I didn't. I have to admit, it turned me on. Yeah, she's just like Karen Hill. She's turned on.
Yeah,
She likes him now. He's a bad boy.
and he's damaged.
He's damaged goods, and she could save him.
And
Yeah,
she's
but you don't
in too
kill a
deep at
whole.
this point.
You don't slaughter a whole village of people when you're angry. That's not human.
Yeah, but I mean,
she's-
she spent her entire life ruling over a subject indigenous people who
That's
she does not
true.
regard as humans.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's oh yeah, Tusken Raiders, they're not even really people.
She's also at this point, she's a senator. She's pretty highly placed.
It's
in
okay.
elected
The
government.
senator they told me that they weren't really people.
Yeah.
What
They don't-
happened
they
there
don't
in the village,
recognize
that doesn't
kind of
really count.
Tusken Raider
They're not
sovereignty.
really people.
They're not supposed to be here.
They're not supposed to be here. They're not really. It's not a big deal.
They said
Goodbye,
it's
my
not a
favorite
problem. That was the best
I
investment
got
of
you
my
for a
entire
good
career.
deal.
It was
Yeah.
a good deal.
Very
That was a great
Profitable
deal.
wife to me.
Yeah, always remember the deal I got from Watto for you.
She harvested so
I
much
love that he
moisture.
has one leg.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he's just going about on like a floating wheelchair with one leg this whole movie.
That guy's
Not
pissed.
much-
That guy
not
should be
much
that.
good reason.
That guy has reason to be pissed at Yoda. Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, Yoda's stealing his valor. He's stealing
But
his...
like, I feel like you have to look at Padme's the way she reacts to Anakin. You have to remember, like, she's in the Senate, like, and her whole thing, she was going to be on this diplomatic kind of mission, like, sort of keeping low while Count Dooku's trying to kill her. She has this 17-year-old religious conservative bodyguard who she suddenly starts having sex with, and now she's on his home planet because his mother, he got a call from her, she's in trouble, she's been dragged off, he's just gone and killed a village. She's trying to cover her, like, she doesn't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Like, she's been having sex with this teenager, he's killed, like, 20 people. He's just, like, trying to work out how to keep this from coming.
It's like if Mary Kay Letourneau. It's like if Mary Kay Letourneau came home and like her boyfriend Billy Pillai had just done Columbine.
This is just like how I imagine. Who is it that? Which is the one that was married to Anthony Weiner? Like, they were feeling of all of
It's
that.
like if Mary Kay Letourneau was also
Yeah.
was also Colin Powell after the My Lai massacre.
Yes.
Wait, I've seen this movie like 5 times out. Can somebody explain what's going on with Count Dooku? And
He's
his
doing
role? Why is that-
separatism.
Okay, so
He's
Count
separated.
Count Dooku is like was a Jedi. He left. He's also the Count of Sereno. He leaves the Jedi Order and starts forming a separatist movement, which is kind of supposed to be like a like Texan separatist kind of thing, like but also
Low tax.
it's like
It's like
also a
Wexit, yeah.
corporate thing as well because most of the members seem to be corporations that are in
banking aliens.
yeah,
So
it's
is he
the
trying to
Trade
do-
Federation, it's the Techno Union, it's all of these guys, and they're trying to get sovereign independence.
It's like a
from the
capital
Republic.
strike, basically. It seems like they're basically
And-
saying we're going to
Except
withdraw
that,
our
like,
our economic
it-
inputs from the system.
Except that they also still have like the Trade Federation still has representation in the Senate while they're
While they're at
also
war with
part
them,
of the
yeah.
separatist movement.
It's very weird.
Yeah,
None
that
of it
doesn't make
makes
sense. Yeah.
Well, I think actually the Trade Federation isn't part of the separatists, but Newt Gunray is.
What? All right, come on.
He's a trade federation
Yeah.
separatist.
I think that's the thing. Is like he's gone. But the other corporations are part of the. Except the banking clan still runs they're still like the World Bank for the Star Wars universe.
But they're also trying to separate.
Yeah,
None of
but
it
they
makes
also
sense.
like
It's all part of
they
the.
also control like the gold standard for the Republic at
Yeah.
the same time.
It's all
uh,
very clearly laid out in this movie.
It's all
I love
part
the
of.
guy
It's all
from
part of
Jones. He's so fucked
Lucas.
up.
It's amazing. Lucas is this like
Jimmy Smits.
maniac.
Smits.
Like he's this
Smits.
detail-oriented maniac, and yet the world building, the basic world building in the Star Wars universe is absolute dog shit. Like none of it makes sense. It doesn't. He
I
didn't spend
love
like a
his little
second
tentacles. They wiggle.
trying to make sense of it. And then
The
all
eye
these poor
stalk
people
guy?
who've had to, all these people
the
who've
guy
had to
with,
like
like
create.
the 4 horns. The
Oh, yeah,
ones
yeah,
on
yeah.
The top and
This
bottom.
guy.
Ah, they're so disgusting.
He's awful. I hate him.
They look
I hate
like
him.
firm, but kind of
Soft, like sort of
wiggly.
supple too. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
I hate him.
I would like to touch them.
I hate him. I
No,
don't
you're-
want to touch him.
You're right, Matt. That all the world building has to be filled in by like people on Wikipedia.
Yeah, these poor bastards have to make this make sense. And I'm sorry, it's not. It doesn't make sense.
All right, here we
They
go.
never sat
These-
down.
Here we go.
The termite people here, by the way, are the ones that invented the battle droids, and that's why they look the same.
Okay, here we have the great Christopher Lee, one of the only people like actually acting at all in any of these movies.
He's also murdered a bunch of Nazis in real life, which is cool.
Oh yeah, Christopher Lee was a super real one.
He's a
He
pimp.
was like employed to hunt down former Nazis after the Second World War. That was what he did for a while before he started doing Hammer Horror.
Yeah, that's true. He was a G. Best
the
best
Geonosians
performance.
are the termite people.
My
right?
favorite performance
Yeah.
by him, of course, though, will be as Dr. Catheter in Gremlins 2.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The rabies. I already
I also
have
really
rabies.
love that he did all those fucking heavy metal albums.
Yeah.
As Charlemagne in character as well. That's the whole like story behind those albums, that he's Charlemagne doing heavy metal.
And he was like even in his 70s when he was
Yeah.
doing them, right?
He did a
His
heavy metal.
80s
Didn't he
even,
do?
maybe.
Didn't he do a heavy metal Christmas album too?
Yes, I have forced my family to listen to that at Christmas a number of times.
Chris, we should use one of Christopher Lee's heavy metal songs as the outro for this one.
The thing is, when
Sure,
you
sure,
have
sure.
that voice, there's like a limit to the things you can do, and I think that was a really
He's a really
good
good
move for him.
He voiced Death from the Discworld novels and a bunch of those adaptations as well.
Yeah, because he has like death. Yeah, that
It's
makes
good.
sense. That's good casting. But it's not like he would do well in like, a little children's Disney movie or something.
I think
No, he would though. Like the
Darth
British, they
Sidious.
love that shit.
Darth Sidious. Come on. That's unobtainium levels of bad naming.
Oh no, there's some real bad ones. Those aren't even the worst ones. The worst names of Darths.
Darth
They're-
Like I could
Sidious.
totally. European like children's entertainment is so fucked up. Like I could totally imagine, like it would be entirely plausible that Christopher Lee would have like been a children's TV presenter in his 80s. That's just the kind of shit that
True.
happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The British let Jimmy Savile be a fucking children's TV presenter for like
Yeah, but
decades.
to be fair, he's way scarier than Christopher Lee. But I think the metal thing was a good move for him. I'm glad that he was able to branch out in strange and unique ways, and meet some of the new kids.
It's hard to work out exactly what Count Dooku is trying to do, because in that scene he just lays it all out. He like tells Obi-Wan, "Oh yeah, the Darth Sidious controls the government. He's actually a Sith Lord. You're all being fooled. Everything is a lie." And Obi-Wan's like, "No, it's not true." Is he trying to convince Obi-Wan and like bring him into the conspiracy? And is he trying to defect and provide them this information? It's very.
And if he is just doing his villain speech, why doesn't he just kill Obi-Wan right then?
So
is
in
the
this
first time
in this
democracy
scene
dies.
in this scene we get
In
to see
darkness.
Senator Jar Jar being used as a comprador by like the vicious colonial
Yep.
overlords of Naboo,
Yep. An
being the
absolute
cat's
chump.
paw in like the linchpin in their plan to institute global fascism and
Yep.
killed.
I love
yeah.
his shoulder pads, Palpatine in his costume.
Same.
Actually, you can
Big
make an
onion
argument
shoulders.
that Jar Jar represents ID Paul. Just talking about how bad Darth Sidious' name is, Amber. Some of the other suggestions that George Lucas had for names of characters included Darth Icky.
Also, keep in mind, in
Great.
Clone Wars, George Lucas introduced Darth Maul's brother, Savage Opress. Is his name?
What?
Savage
Savage.
Opress.
Oh, right, Savage Opress. of the Irish.
He's Irish.
Irish.
Not even trying.
Oppress. Top of the morning to you. Nothing I love more than a little bit of oppression.
Also, talking about Sidious, so there's this whole subplot of Sifo Dyas, who's the Jedi who ordered the clones on Camino. That happened because it was originally going to have been, they said, oh, Sidious ordered these, but he misspelt it as Sifo Dyas, and just decided to keep it because he liked the sound of it. That's how that entire plot came to being.
And
is
why
never-
it makes zero sense.
That
Because
is never,
is
that
so
is never
fucking
followed
bad.
up on. in
That's
these
so
movies.
stupid. That sucks.
so bad.
That's bad filmmaking.
And it's never followed up on in Revenge of the Sith, so they had to go do an entire story, like multi-part storyline in the Clone Wars cartoon show to explain who and what Sifo Dyas is.
So wait. The cloning long neck, tall gray people are like the most
Yeah.
secretive, like technologically advanced race in the galaxy. But like just a clerical error just fucked everything over because they entered in like the Excel document. They just misspelled the guy's name.
Yeah.
and then they,
Because
and then they-
otherwise, you would, as the viewer, know it was Sidious.
Yeah.
And that can't happen because you have to be surprised. Because any of this is a surprise. Because any of his
Also,
attempts
there's
to like
this,
try to keep you on your toes work
Is
at
this
all.
also there's a lot of like mysteries involved
There's,
in
like,
people
nurses'
having
shoes.
pretending to have different names. So like you're not supposed to realize that Darth Tyrannus, who they keep talking about, is Count Dooku and they're the same person. because Jango Fett says like I was hired by a name man.
Oh yeah,
guy named
Amber.
Tyrannus.
That's another.
But you're not
a
supposed
Sith
to
guy.
realize he's Count Dooku.
Amber, that's another Sith guy, Darth Tyrannus.
You just come on, come on.
I don't know. Should I listen to this guy, Darth Tyrannus? I don't know. Is he on the up and up? The guy who's calling himself Darth Tyrannus?
They should have had one called Pedo-Fice or something.
The meme pages for like that the Sith share among themselves would be so fucking good. Like
The Virgin
just
Jedi.
like all the memes about like classic like Sith girl names and shit.
How would you not notice that the walls are moving?
Again, this is another sort of
adjusted to just slaughtering indigenous people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
This is another sort of subhuman race where it doesn't matter if they're killed just indiscriminately.
Chops them in half.
They
Okay, worst action sequence in any movie ever here. This is the worst set piece.
They land on this planet,
the
they
Sparks
trespass into their
factory.
factory,
Oh,
and
the
then just
Sparks
slaughtering the
factory.
workers.
Oh
Yes.
no.
He's like a Pinkerton the way he's killing all of these factory employees. He cuts that guy in half.
He cut a guy in half. They're just security guards.
The Jedi heard there was like union agitation going on in this droid factory.
This
Oh
is
god,
No,
this looks
I-
like
this
dog
is
shit.
This is
the
literally-
worst action set piece in
This
any
is
major
literally
movie
a
ever.
Mario Brothers 3 level.
Yep.
Yes.
Also,
Look
all
at
of
how
this was
bad that
added.
looks. Look at how dog shit that is.
All of this was added in like post. This is all reshoot
Yeah.
stuff. None of this
Yes.
is
Like a
Looney Tunes.
Yes.
the original shoot.
This goes on forever too. When he gets his hand like pressed into
And
like
then this
molten
asshole
steel.
shows up. Fuck off. You're of no use to anyone, C-3PO.
See, it's about to get really tough because there's going to be these ghosts that are
such a-
following them, but
that-
only when you don't look at them.
Yes.
That line always weirded me out.
Good.
But 3PO says, machines creating machines, how perverse, which suggests that there's like no automated production like that
Yeah,
this
no,
is an abnormality.
They're usually made by
That
slaves,
machines-
Haley. They're usually made by
Yeah.
child slaves.
Yeah,
Why
they're
would
all
machines
droids
make
that are
machines?
independently
Machines.
created.
Oh, R2 can
Creative.
fly. R2 can fly, which again is hilarious. They put that in because it's just like, why did he do that in the original movies where he could have helped anyone?
R2-D2 is always supposed to be able to fly.
We always wanted him to be able to fly, but so now it's canon. It's canon that his flying.
Ah!
It's
Like
flying.
originally in Return of the Jedi, George Lucas wanted R2-D2 to, instead of like vomiting the lightsaber to Luke, to like fly and hit Boba Fett in the head and knock him into the Sarlacc pit. Something like that.
I would have really liked to see them trying to do that with just R2-D2
See, it's like at
whipping around
every
on a
point, like
wire.
all the things that he thinks of as restraints were things that made it better.
Yeah.
Everything that he thinks is a thing that like inhibited his vision in the original made them better movies.
He has no idea. He
has no idea what he wants. It is not. I don't want this. Whatever this is, it sucks. This sucks ass, and I hate it.
I love also that you can just pick up a protocol droid made by a
Yes.
slave.
They're
like
all
10 years ago in
interchangeable
Tatooine.
parts. They're all just like, they fit together
Yeah.
like Legos.
Well,
They're
my
like
thing is,
Bionicles.
I always
Yeah,
assumed that meant that.
Bionicles.
I always assumed
All
that meant that.
droids are
This is so
Bionicles.
dumb. Like, why didn't that
Doesn't make
crush
any
his
sense.
arm?
What is this?
This-
Why didn't it crush his arm?
This bit in the movie, when I first saw it, I thought this was like how Anakin got like his Darth Vader cyborg hand.
Yeah.
That like he would have it fucked up in the droid factory, and that's why he would have a robot hand later. But
Nope.
no, he gets his
Doesn't make
hand
any
cut off
sense.
for a different reason later in the movie. The same hand.
And he,
I love
he
the
gets it. He
idea-
gets it cut off for an equally idiotic reason too. It's
I
just
love the
him being
idea
bad.
of that like traumatic arm injury is like genetic in this universe.
You got the old Skywalker arm.
I do
The
like
thing where
this,
it's just
this bit where
sometimes
they
it's got a
trick
weak.
you.
It's got some weak bones. It'll just fly off sometimes.
I like this bit where they trick you into thinking she's going to get laved. It's kind of
Yeah.
It's like, you thought we wouldn't have to deal with Padme anymore.
If only.
She was like she she kind of like at that moment was thinking, if I die, like this whole thing I've got myself caught up into, it's going to go away at least. Like I don't have to deal with the
it'll be a
consequences.
little easier.
At least my misery will be over. What did they do to his arm? That doesn't make any sense.
It's put in the arm mold for the robot.
Why is there a robot arm mold?
Right.
What exactly?
That part is supposed to be flat.
Is?
Look at all the rest of them are flat.
Yeah.
Why is that? What?
Oh, no,
I've been castrated, metaphorically.
Look, happens to everyone.
Yeah. Obi-Wan's going to be unhappy that I can't perform for him.
I also want to know what this machine does exactly, because it seems to make like an arm mold and then flatten it. I'm not entirely
It doesn't
sure
make any sense. The whole thing is just
the
baffling.
utility?
Yeah.
It's just baffling. It does nothing.
Thank God that was it. Thank God that's over.
It's a 10-minute just eye assault with no point, no coherence. It doesn't build anything. All it has is that awful C-3PO wacky bit, which is like
horrible.
Pain. Hide under the galaxy cringeworthy.
So, okay, now we get another big action sequence that's totally different, but equally awful.
We also get the love scene. Actually,
yes.
The love theme, the John Williams love theme for them, I do genuinely.
Yeah, the original John Williams stuff is awesome. And the Duel of the Fates John Williams, that bangs too.
Yeah.
Yeah, people in my high school used to sing the Duel of the Fates song while beating people up.
So wait, it would just be some kid getting pushed into a locker and going da 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 da.
Yeah.
That is savage. Holy shit!
I mean,
Australia really is the fucking Mad Max. Jesus Christ. That rules. Fuck.
The way this relationship has shifted, she's just become totally powerless and is being dominated by this 17-year-old.
Yep. The former queen and current senator. All she ever wanted to get domed by a 17-year-old boy slave.
It's a very common theme in erotica.
That's true.
The woman reduced to this powerful woman reduced to being a sex slave for a horny
Anakin, would you come in here and bust up my chifforobe?
This is kind of a decent shot going through the archway. It's all right.
That's not bad.
And the way the music swells.
They both exit a vagina together.
Matt, this goes to what you were saying about the totally incoherent, technological level of all these civilizations, where this race has
great music,
cutting edge droid factory, but then they also live in mud pits and do gladiatorial combat.
They're capable of having a chariot that floats off the ground, but it has to be drawn by some kind of anteater ox.
All the technology belongs to the Trade Federation, who are the ones that build the droids. But it's because these people are like a hive mind, insect race, so they're naturally good.
There is actually a lot of stuff about how colonialism works. They put the factory there, but it's for the benefit of the Trade Federation. It doesn't benefit.
It's all of those people on the council, like the banking clan guy, they're the ones who are running this society.
See, the thing is,
these guys don't have any say.
The thing is, even though he is the world's biggest dork and it's totally incoherent, George Lucas's politics are actually pretty good. And he's even said that the original trilogy, the rebels, and they were supposed to be the Viet Cong.
Yeah,
he was exclicitly no, America is the fucking
Empire.
I've got another Lucas quote about Palpatine. And Kasdan asks, was Palpatine a Jedi, a wizard? And he's like, no, he was a politician. Richard M. Nixon was his name. He subverted the Senate and finally took over and became an imperial guy, and he was really evil. But he pretended to be a really nice guy. He sucked Luke's father into the dark side.
I mean,
I like the kitty.
It's when the bull gorged the matador. I kind of like this scene.
The spiky kitty is nice.
The spiky kitty is also responsible for ripping off Padme's midriff very strategically.
Yeah.
Yes, the strategic midriff rip is so funny.
I love the big insect boy too. He's so spiky.
All these monsters are pretty cool.
No,
but the smiley mouth.
The Triceratops one fucking sucks. It's
good.
shit. I don't like the Triceratops thing.
She's immediately escaping while they're all watching.
Immediately escaping.
There's this weird thing of Padme where she's hyper competent in occasional scenes, and then just like a complete wet blanket like push over every other time.
That was convenient.
Yes.
Like this shit looks okay, I think.
Oh,
Oh.
The creatures are a little rubbery, but
There's something like, yeah, but it's
Although
like
these
the
changes
rubbery
suck.
CGI feels more real than a lot of the other CGI.
yeah.
And like it has like physicality.
Yeah.
So perfect,
Yeah.
Show that
Oh no,
tummy,
my
show tummy,
abs.
sweetie.
By the way, like the royal, like kind of like watching area or whatever, also decorated with vaginas.
Yes.
it's just
I'm
a
saying my
giant
arch is
vagina
highly
planet.
vaginal. Just,
This is the architecture in this society is extremely vaginal.
It's the second time Anakin has fallen off like some giant hideous monster in this movie.
Yes, that would be a more practical way to eliminate
These
your,
movies needed more Newt Gunray.
yeah.
Wait a minute. Why didn't we just shoot these people? Why did we have to sick these
execute them?
giant
Yeah.
Spend all
creatures
this
on
time
them?
and
I
effort
love that shot.
feeding and caring for these creatures.
There's such a good bit there when the insect knocks over the column and then he like wraps his like arms around it to try and keep it from falling. It's great. Also, Anakin
cat-
just suddenly pulls out like beast control in this. He
Yeah.
suddenly has that ability.
he's
What?
working.
He's a
like when you-
beastmaster. He's a
He's
beastmaster.
working.
Well, yeah,
you're
like,
like-
before this scene when he was in that like loading spot of Padme waiting to get into the fight scene, he like added that ability from the RPG like menu screen.
Yeah.
Control beast.
Or you're like 20 sessions into your D&D game when you're finally like, oh, I have a +6 in animal handling. Would that come in use here?
Like, these movies need more of this. Like, Ewan McGregor just fighting a Ray Harryhausen giant insect. This is okay.
With a
I like
spear,
this.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the spiky.
This part isn't bad. It's when the 300 Jedi show up, it gets out of control.
That would have hurt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jumping bareback onto
This is
a
another,
dinosaur.
Like
this is another
20
example
feet.
of, I
Yeah.
think, probably George Lucas not knowing anything about vaginas and the fact that they do have sensations in them. So, like, landing on a from 20 feet up on the spine of an
On the
animal,
spine,
like a fence
yeah.
post.
Well, he all of his children that he had during this period were adopted. Like all of his children he had after he divorced Marsha.
Okay, yeah.
As a single father. So
Hey,
Amber, something
those
going on with that
monsters didn't work. How about the single least effective piece of weaponry in the history of the universe?
Amber, also,
No,
think,
the role-
also think how much that would hurt also as well if you had a jade egg inside your vagina as well. That would go
that
up
jade
into your...
egg is just like shot right up.
Yeah,
She
it
shot
would go
right into
through
your
it would
throat.
go through your skull.
Yeah. Ow, my Yanni.
All the insect guys
This
just
party's
going crazy
over.
in the background.
This party's over.
All right, show me some Fisto.
Ah,
yeah.
Fisto. There we go.
No! Give me the
You guys know about
fisty!
Kit
Give me the
Fisto?
fisty!
You know-
Hey,
you
fisty!
know the lore of Kit Fisto?
What is the
What's the
lore?
lore?
Give me that fisto lore.
He's a bigamist. He has multiple wives.
Hell yeah.
Wait,
Pimp.
Wait, but he's
his
also a
speech-
Jedi. He can't have any wives.
Well, there's an exception for Kit Fisto because his species has a very low birth rate, so he has like special allowance because he
Yeah,
has to go to his home planet every
it's like
10 years.
it's like priests in the
to
Amazon
breed
in
with
South
his multiple
America.
Wives,
There's the pussies.
that Kit Fisto story was like the first Star Wars tie-in comic released for Phantom Menace. And it's all about how Kit Fisto has to go to his home planet to have sex with his multiple wives to repopulate the race.
That rules.
Hell yeah, fisto! Pimp!
Incredibly normal.
Pimp!
Also, In Sync was originally in this scene.
Oh my lord!
They were
Doing
on
what?
set as Jedi, the band In Sync,
Wow.
Fuck off! Fuck off!
Because-
Fuck off!
because his kids loved them, so he got them to come on set and be Jedi.
But they were cut out of the final cut.
Thankfully, yes.
I think they should be in there. I would love to see Lance Bass right now.
It would be great if they were doing like a 5-part choreographed
Yes.
dance, like all moving together.
I would love to see the guy
Have
from
they-
NSYNC with like the little shitty dreadlocks.
Yeah.
'Cause his weird look would fit in with the abominable sort of design of everything.
Joey Fat One. Yeah.
No,
I
not
can
Joey
see
Fat
him.
One. Like was it Chris Kirkpatrick? I think his name was.
Anakin is going to like convince Padme to upload photos of her fucked up, like a scratched up back onto their couple's FetLife account after this.
Anyone want to diagnose these scratches? Wink, wink.
This is actually how she died, is that she caught toxoplasmosis from the spicy kitty.
They just haven't diagnosed it in that universe yet. The med droid in the third movie is like, it doesn't make any sense. Oh no!
Wow,
Okay.
what a
No.
shitty Jedi.
Yeah, no, Haley, I
That
gotta
was,
ask about this scene though.
That was Coleman
like,
Trebor, that Jedi.
this is like
Murdered.
Haley, I gotta ask about this scene because
Coleman
like
Trebor.
every Jedi in the universe shows up to help them, and probably 2/3 of them get owned immediately. They all die. So like this seems
Yeah.
to be like they're not that good. Like they
They
should
kind of
be.
suck.
This
Well,
many
as-
Jedi should be like undefeatable by any of these like
Well,
lame ass.
Mace
Lego
Windu
Man,
says,
yeah.
like, we're keepers of the peace. We're not warriors. You know, they're not meant to do any. For 1,000 years, they've just been abducting children, and
They've gotten soft.
they haven't had to fight anybody for a while. The
See, Mace
Sith
Windu
are
is the only good one.
basically, Like
Oh,
like Darth
there we go.
Sidious is.
Pop
Oh,
nose
no.
weasel, motherfucker.
Oh,
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
I don't care which galaxy you're from. That's gotta hurt.
I love these fart cannons.
Oh,
They suck. They're awful.
No, run, Newt. Protect yourself.
I also like how many of these Jedi are just ordinary people with ponytails. Except for Kit Fisto, a
Yeah.
lovely smiley.
Now, Haley, I assume like you've definitely seen like what's his name, the Getty Tarkovsky Clone Wars animated series.
Yeah. I prefer like the CGI.
Oh, you do? Because like the way
The
he
CGI
portrays,
one is good.
yeah, the way he portrays the Jedi in that, and I like that one the best. They're like godlike powers of like
Yeah.
the shit they do in that.
The chemistry.
Roger.
Like, this is cool. He's fighting, and there's a giant insect, and it's scaring the robots. And...
Oh no!
No,
Oh, it only wanted a snack.
yeah,
Oh, poor little guy.
it feels pain and had a family.
I feel like George Lucas is like secretly signaling to the abductee community in this movie because the insectoid aliens are also like a major part of UFO lore. It's like, if you've had abduction experience, this is probably a very triggering movie to watch.
Look at them; they're getting mowed down.
They suck.
They stink. The Jedi
And we've
stink.
already established that these droids suck
These
shit.
droids got beat by Gungans, for Christ's sake.
I like the
These-
super battle droids.
These droids are from Radio Shack. How the hell are they beating the Jedi?
The bigger battle droids, the one that look like the
They're the super battle droids,
yeah.
as opposed to the B1 battle droid, which is the standard model.
Yeah, like the arm gun ones.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It took them 10 years to work out that you don't have to give a droid a gun, you can just make its arm a gun.
Yeah.
Just what a voice.
And you got all owned. You can see the sexy Jedi in this.
Yes. I'm
There's
a
one
fan of
Jedi
hers.
who just has like
The
a...
hot Jedi with the tubes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a
Oh,
big
yeah.
fan of her. There she is. Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah.
hello.
What is
Yeah.
what is that race in the Star Wars?
It's a Twi'lek.
The Twi'leks are super hot.
Yeah, all the women are sex slaves or dancers, and all the men are giant, disgusting, hideous freaks.
Dudes rock. Dudes rock, baby.
What is it? What is
Dude,
what is this?
even
The
in
freaking
Twilight.
DSA?
There's a whole comic storyline where she is like abducted and brainwashed.
Line of
into
the
a
movie
sex
coming
slave.
up. Around the survivors, a perimeter create.
Ugh.
Thank you, General.
Awful.
I'm gonna have
So
to find
bad.
you like the panels from the comic about the sexy Jedi. But there's a whole storyline where she goes undercover and gets too deep and like becomes brainwashed into being a prostitute, and then she
What?
is like and then she becomes like irreparably horny and can't
What?
separate like whether or not she's horny because she wants to be or because she's been brainwashed from her undercover mission.
I mean, what's the
What you're
difference?
telling
Oh my
At that
god.
point, what's the difference?
So what you're telling me is that all the intercalary comic books between Phantom Menace and Clone Wars were just like, let's examine the sex lives of the Jedi.
Oh, they're incredibly horny. There's like Luke Skywalker has like this great grandson in the comics who's like addicted to death sticks because he's trying to block out his force visions. And he has like this force vision of his grandmother who has like huge tits and is flirting with him.
Yes. Of course.
That
See,
shot
like
of
these
Boba
early
Fett
Star
lifting the
Destroyers?
helmet
Yeah.
to his head is also one of the few good shots in this movie.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
decent, yes.
Rally more system to his cause, he will.
Ooh.
We're not entirely sure what the cause is.
Nope,
yet.
no idea.
Never made clear.
No,
The
it's
two
it's
movies,
low tax.
It's been 5 hours.
Deregulation,
Deregulation, low tax, right to carry.
The Jedi like instantly know how to direct like a planetary war. That is like
Yes.
immediately giving out directions. They're setting out.
It's almost like they had a plan the whole time.
Yeah,
kind
let's,
of
let's make
feel
sure to
like
really
cripple
about
the,
Jedi taking
the
power.
make sure to cripple the crucial infrastructure immediately, so that the survivors will have no water or medicine.
It's just like, yeah.
Does
it's
Count
active-
Dooku? Does Count Dooku
Doesn't he know
if
the
he pretended
plan?
Not to know about the clones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So-
Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, Palpatine did the plan with the clones.
I guess
so why would
he's
they know about the
pretending
clones?
for the he's pretending
he's
for the
pretending
lames
to-
and simps in the Trade Federation or whatever.
Look at
Yeah, they just immediately activate the hostile occupation protocol.
You know, like
Also,
it's also a tribute to like how badly written these movies are. That like it has Sam Jackson, who will do any dog shit movie anytime, anywhere, but somehow just like brings it in everything. Even he can't make anything about this character interesting or compelling.
Yeah.
Nope.
Because
He
like
did,
every line of
flat.
dialogue
Everything
is
is
so
flat.
boring.
I love that Samuel L. Jackson, like, in between doing all the Avengers fucking movies, he did the movie Barely Lethal, which is about a high school for teen spies that was, like, made by a Star Wars fanboy. That was, like, a kind of direct-to-DVD level movie. He'll just take whatever. It's great.
Yeah, no, Sam Jackson likes working. He likes he likes a
It's from the
steady
Christopher
income.
Walken
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
It's from the Christopher Walken school. You don't
Which
say
honestly,
no.
like,
and you know what?
like Walken, he is a legitimately great actor, but I respect that more than like Daniel Day-Lewis, who shows up once every 10 years
Yeah.
when he's not working as a fucking
Yeah.
cobbler in Italy or whatever.
Yeah.
I like all these ships. All
do
these,
some
like,
work.
Yeah, they're
I like
pretty
those
good.
walkers.
the wheel boys.
those
here,
rolly
they're-
Yeah,
Yeah,
the big
missile
rolly
drill boys.
things. Yeah,
The rolling
they're
Katyushas.
firing the
yeah, those are pretty
Katyusha
cool.
rockets. Yeah,
Yeah.
But this is also like one of the big tonal shifts where suddenly it just becomes entirely directed by like CGI storyboard artists,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the entire cinematography just completely changes.
Yeah.
this isn't going
Jeez,
great, guys.
Every time.
I feel great.
I like the
I'm
Genoese
chilling
language.
on
Okay, the
Geonosis.
Genoesians, the Genovese family,
The Genovese.
the Genovese, like the Gungans, their rulers have a completely different
There it is.
physiognomy
There's the Death
than.
Star.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, he's making a point about colonialism. They're the compradors.
Yeah.
They're the fat compradors.
I feel like he's also like kind of preemptively making a point about QAnon because like Darth Sidious and the Sith are basically like QAnon and JFK Jr. and Trump trying to, arrest and defeat all of like the deep state pedophiles, aka the Jedi Order.
Yeah.
Yes. They are the storm that is coming.
Like Palpatine is a white knight pedophile, like he's turning Anakin, but to be able to take down the deep state.
Yes,
within.
yes.
It's very applicable today.
These movies stay relevant.
I really don't like that Count Dooku rides a bike.
He has like
And
a little
fucking
Vespa
shitty
speeder.
bike. It's a Vespa. Don't put Christopher Lee on a Vespa.
Yeah.
Space Vespa.
He needs more dignity than that.
So are these like mini Death Stars?
No, they're like, you know, the Trade Federation donut ship from the last
Yeah,
one?
yeah. They're like
yeah.
the
They're the big
centers of
ball.
those. Yeah.
Yeah. They're the donut holes.
Oop.
But this is just the most video game stuff. They're just firing the
Yeah.
lasers at it until the HP runs out. It feels like it has no consequence.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
it
we
just
go.
explodes.
There's
There's a
9/11.
pretty cool shot coming up when they're all like blasting at each other in the dust storm, and no one can see
Yeah.
anything, and it's just
But again,
mass
it's like
death
it's a
and chaos.
totally CGI, just invented by some completely other person. George Lucas had nothing to do with this shot. All of this stuff, from what I've heard, is he basically is sitting behind the computer animators eating a chicken sandwich, just watching them over their shoulder through all of these scenes.
I feel like they could have
How
done
many-
more.
Can you just imagine how many fucking bugs are getting in your mouth riding a bike on the
I feel like they could have done
termite
more
planet?
with that haboob scene. Like, I would like to, witness a haboob, which I know probably just looks like sand, but that was more interesting than this.
No, my
Ah.
midriff.
My abs.
Sustained battle damage.
As soon as she falls unconscious,
Oh,
Anakin's
that's
on
so
it.
undignified. Yeah.
Count Dooku, he from my ass. Count Dooku from my ass, so bad.
She wouldn't give a shit.
I like that
about
they're
me.
having this argument and they're already like 10 miles away from where she goes.
Yeah. No, it's too late.
She-
It's
she's
too
done.
late.
Yeah, she's
I don't know,
dead.
there's a
Planet
clone
wide
guy with
desert.
her.
How are you going to find
She's
her
dead.
again?
She's been dead for a while, dude. What are you talking about?
I like these clones. I like the armor. I like the yellow.
Yeah, the yellow armors, the different color.
Yeah, the
Stormtrooper
colors are
armor
nice.
is pretty cool.
That's one of the best things about watching Clone Wars. Is just different skins on all the clones. If you like
they like-
buying skins in video games, you will love the Clone Wars. There's just so many different clone skins.
I just imagine it's
You've
like
sold me.
Empire
There's nothing I love more.
The Clone Wars
Getting out your
The
character
whole
in the-
reason they set up the Clone Wars in this universe was to like defraud the Republic into like buying all of these different skins for the clones.
all these in-game, all these in-war purchases.
Yeah.
God, he sucks. He's so bad.
Why did you want to bring him along, Obi-Wan?
Yeah, he's
immediately
useless. He
happen.
immediately gets owned.
I like that Obi-Wan's thinking like, well, shit, I probably should have sent him back to get Padme then.
Oh, it looks so cool with the mod.
I like his little crooked lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fencing. It's nice.
Rup, rup, rup.
This is all not Christopher Lee. This is all
No,
Christopher
no
Lee's
shit, yeah.
head
He's so
on the-
old. He's so old. Yeah.
No, I do love how much this entire film series loves making like 85-year-old guys have athletic sword fights.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it all starts with Yoda, right? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, a horrible dream.
I guess
You didn't have sex with the child. It's all okay.
Did you ever read like Alec Guinness's like letters that he wrote people from the set of Star Wars?
Oh,
He's
it's
just
so good.
so scathing. It's so funny.
He's so dismissive of the movie.
he hates it so bad.
That's,
I love, like, the only person he likes is Harrison Ford, but he doesn't even remember his name. He's like, there's this guy, Kennison Ford. He's quite smart. Have you seen that clip of Alec Guinness where he met James Dean and had a vision of his death and warned him that he was
No.
going to die, and then like a week later he died?
Holy shit!
great.
No way.
It's like an old clip from Parkinson, and it's this insane bit of the interview where he just goes very silent and just starts going to this story about how he met James Dean by chance. James Dean shows him this new car that he bought, and he says like this other voice like came into my head, and I just started speaking without realizing it. And I said like, it's 10 o'clock now. If you drive this car by 10 o'clock next Thursday, you will be dead.
Holy
And
shit!
he was dead. And it's
Jesus
just like,
Christ.
and the entire audience is just like stunned, and no one fucking knows what to say. And they're just like, have you had any other like visions of people's deaths? And he's like, oh no, not at all. That was the only time.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's a
speak
great-
now
you
or
have to look it
forever
up.
hold your
Very
peace,
haunting.
motherfucker. Oh no! Ah!
Oh, moaned again. We're both owned. We suck.
I suck.
We
I'm
stink.
really bad
we
at this.
stink.
I love that Anakin.
That was his wanking arm. Fuck.
Oh yeah, he's got to jack off with a robot arm.
No,
now.
but like that's good because you get the friendly stranger every time. It feels like someone else. It feels like you're
Yeah,
getting
you
a hand
only
job.
get hand jobs. You're
It feels like you're getting a hand job.
minimum hand job for the rest of your life. You never have to masturbate again.
Does Anakin lose 3 lightsabers in this movie?
Yes. He stinks.
I think it's supposed to be like a joke that he keeps losing them. One of the jokes in the movie is going to be that Anakin keeps losing his lightsabers.
It's quite amusing. It's quite
by
funny.
the third time, the audience is going to be in hysterics.
Just in preparation of the Yoda fight scene, I want to read this quote from Lucas from the 80s when they're making Return of the Jedi. Another misconception is that Yoda teaches Jedi, but he is like a guru. He doesn't go out and fight anybody. He's a teacher, not a real Jedi. Understand that?
No,
Absolutely true.
he does not understand it. But the thing about Yoda is he's a little cool guy, and people want to see him fight with the sword.
The great thing is, like, if you read the J.W. Rinsler Making of Star Wars books, it's great because this is all these quotes from Lucas where he directly contradicts everything he does in the prequels.
That's awesome.
There's like a bit in the 80s documentary from Star Wars to Jedi Making of a Saga where he's like is explaining to Mark Hamill how the black Return of the Jedi outfit is like the outfit the Jedi used to wear back in the day
Oh,
of
here we go.
Obi-Wan and Yoda,
Here we go.
Yeah.
and that was the
Oh.
real outfit.
Yoda's getting mad.
And then they just wear farm boy clothes.
If you were a grown person when this movie came out, obviously, for kids, it's different. But if you were a grown adult when this movie came out and you thought it was cool when Yoda pulled out the lightsaber, you're an idiot.
Apparently, I don't remember this, but apparently, like, people who defend the prequels say that when Yoda started fighting, like, in every screening, and the audience started cheering and screaming and just losing it.
I seem to remember
I'm
that,
sure that
when I
was
saw this in
true.
the theater. Yeah, people.
Those people
loved
were
it.
all
that.
fucking rubes. Those were country turnip truck rubes.
It looks like shit. He's just like flipping. Oh, it's
His face looks like
Awful.
shit, too.
It just
Yeah.
destroys all the character. It destroys the character. It just makes...
And it's like, you could do a Yoda fight if you wanted, and he could just be basically just, like, batting this laser sword away.
you could just be fighting purely with the Force. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
he
It could have been like Aikido or something where he's like channeling it away from him without moving. It would have been cool.
and
He's doing
should've
Steven
been
Seagal
like-
fighting. He's
Yeah.
fighting from an
Yeah, he'd be
office
like-
chair, like Seagal.
and he'd be like giggling and
yeah,
doing, like,
and
a
he's
little
like
stare
bouncing, and he's
stuff.
like,
He's a gremlin.
he's a
not
gremlin. He's an
gremlin in the
hipster. He's a
prequels.
trickster.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
no, everything is the same. Everyone wears the same uniform, and they have the same lightsaber, and they have the same powers.
They all talk the same. They're
Yeah.
all very
Yeah.
slow and deliberate. They have no emotion. Yeah.
Yep.
All of the Jedi are indistinguishable.
She doesn't
Mace
have a lot of
Windu is
sand in
exactly
that
the same
wound.
character as Yoda.
She took a shower while they were.
Yeah.
coming
I also
over
like
to,
Dooku's like sort of like
This-
sail
yeah,
ship,
The solar sail.
the solar
It's fucking-
sail.
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But again, solar sail, like he has the hyperdrive. What's the fucking point?
It reminds me of like a Alex J. Brady kind of.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely does. Yeah, it does look good. Hollywood, please hire Alex J. Brady to just do fucking design for movies. I mean, I know she does already, but like more stuff.
Now, like her new boyfriend she picked up yesterday now is has lost an arm. It's just like it just gets getting drawn deeper and deeper into
Her
this thing.
school shooter
like-
boyfriend now doesn't have an arm.
And it's harder to let him
Now
off
she's
easily
having to
now.
like use her senatorial paycheck to like pay for him to get like a prosthetic.
They're the only ones who have health care in this universe.
Hey, Padme, my child murdering arm got cut off. Could you please pay to give me a robot child murdering arm? If you don't give me a new arm, I won't be able to murder any more children like I did.
This is one of the evil districts on Coruscant.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Sith district.
Yeah, like in SimCity, you can set your district to like what style it is, and this one is just the evil style. It's good.
I'm going to write an article for Commune Mag about how this is actually the best one because it's about social reproduction. Because it goes to talk. It goes to the talk. It looks at the clone people, and it goes to the place where they make the droids. You
It goes to the place where they make the fire and electricity.
Exactly. Yes, it's social reproduction theory.
Ah.
Gee, I
Also,
wonder
how
who
can
this
you
guy
see?
is.
Wouldn't you bump into shit?
He's got the
The
force.
Force. It's got the Force.
No, that's
I
like
love
that's
just-
yeah.
No,
I
we
love
know
imagining,
canonically
like,
from the movies. We
Palpatine.
know that you can have blindfolded and like see shit with the Force.
Yeah.
Palpatine
That was in the first
constantly
movie.
having to like put on his cloak, get into a ship, fly over to this abandoned district of Coruscant to go have his secret meetings and fly back.
Yeah, and then come
It
back.
is- the
He's
question
getting
I
off
don't
his ship
actually
and he
know.
still has the hoodie up. They're like, "Hey, what's
Like
up?"
this is how Hillary Clinton has to live her life. It's not easy.
Yeah. She puts on a hoodie whenever she does Epstein shit too.
But the question that I don't know the answer to, and I don't think Lucas would if I asked him either, is what is the audience supposed to know? What does he want the audience to know about Sidious at this point?
You know what he would say? You know what he would say? Audience.
What?
That's what he would
There's
say.
a great
Because, like,
quote
it seems
from
like
Never
he's
when,
occurred to him.
He's
It's a
trying
great
to
line.
make it a mystery. He's trying to make it like a
Yeah.
surprise that it's
But he's not,
that Sidious and Palpatine are
well.
the same guy.
because
but
he makes it
also,
obvious that they're the same person.
it's like, who's he trying to fool? Is he just trying to fool people in the scene, or is he trying to fool the audience? I don't understand.
There's a
He
press
gunned the Clone War
interview.
has.
One of the
There's a
worst.
press interview when
one of the
just
worst.
before Phantom Menace came out, and George Lucas is being interviewed, and the interviewer says, "Who is the Phantom Menace?" And George Lucas says, "The Phantom Menace is Palpatine. He's Darth Sidious. He's the Phantom Menace." He just lays it out in his fucking interview just before the movie came out. He doesn't.
But I
know
mean, like, why
what
not?
he
Because
wants
it's,
you to
it's,
know.
it's
like the
done
way it
so obviously. Yeah.
So much of this stuff is just like I like the mouthfeel of this word, so I rearranged an entire plot around it. I like Sith.
You don't like
Sith sounds good.
2003 here.
It does kind of roll off the tongue. Little like
Imperial
tongue,
March.
tongue on the
Jimmy
tooth kind
Smith
of
is
sound.
very good at looking like
Sith
a
sounds
full
terrible.
democracy dying in darkness in these movies.
Sith
Yeah.
sounds like a South African trying to talk to someone named Seth. It's a bad sounding word.
Sith Ickerman. Hello.
Anakin, you got to join the Sith.
Sith. Anakin, you've got to join the Sith.
They're getting secretly married now.
Anakin,
And it-
we've got to put apartheid on the Gungans.
I'd like to.
I like how he got the sexiest and most romantic fake hand he could find, apparently.
Yeah, just give me the exoskeleton. Give me the T2
Give me the-
exoskeleton,
yes, exactly.
please.
I like
Can't
the
wait to
veil,
finger
though.
my new wife.
Yeah, I want to figure my
I'll
new
give her
ways
this.
with
I
a
like the
T800
veil.
arm.
Did they get a slave-wife marriage to, like, carry on the tradition of his family?
I'd like to imagine. I'd like to imagine Anakin, to preserve the secrecy of this marriage, kills the minister who officiates
That
it
is
immediately after.
that is not a wedding-style kiss. That is not a you may
Right.
kiss the
She
bride
looks
kiss.
terrified.
Yeah.
She's not having good vibes.
Yeah, well, he's 17. He had sex yesterday, and now he's married to her. Of course, he's fucking
And
terrified.
he's a
child
mass
groom.
murderer. He's a child soldier. He's basically one of those kids from like General Butt
there we
Naked
go.
That was
Militia.
a
Wow.
Great
Wow.
note to end the
Oh my
movie on.
God.
That's what you want to
Wow.
leave on.
Thank you.
Oh, a classic.
Wow.
A true
Ugh.
classic.
Wow.
Another Rick McCallum classic.
Thank you, George.
Oh yeah.
Oh, boy.
Thank you, George.
It's
Wow.
a fun. It's a funnier entry in the series than we've had.
Oh,
Ugh.
Thank you, George, and thank you, Hayley, for doing this with us and getting up this early.
Yeah,
that was great. Would you come back and do Revenge of the Sith with us?
Happily.
You bring a lot of the Star Wars knowledge that is
absolutely
I know all the
is
lore.
sorely missing. Yeah.
We could do it later too.
We could
so
do it
that
later
you
in the
don't
day.
have
So
to-
yeah,
That
get up
works,
at 5 in the
that works
morning.
a lot
Yeah.
better. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we'll do it in the evening. It's fine. We'll do it like a Wednesday night or something.
Yeah,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, we
that
can do it like
works.
next Wednesday. Any final thoughts?
it was dog shit. I don't know what to say. Like I don't know why we're doing this. I was never a
It's
Star
good.
Wars person
It's good.
anyway. Like,
It's
ugh.
on a long enough timeline. Every podcast becomes about the prequel trilogy.
It's true. It's inevitable. We had
I
this
didn't
date from the
sign up for
beginning.
this. I feel very coerced.
No, it's destiny. It's destiny. Well,
I feel
you're not
like,
alone.
I
Join
feel
the club.
like a young Anakin
Yes.
coerced into this by more
everything
powerful
comes back.
forces.
Yes. It all
So
comes
it
back
does
to that.
feel like a weirdly trenchant time to be examining this bloated film series about like the decline of a decadent republic.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. I will say-
it in of itself is such a decadence. Just pre 2008, like the first, just like fucking throwing money at bad ideas.
Oh yeah, no, this was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say though that we established the first one was about Brexit, but like also race science and boy slavery.
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones is, as Matt said, about the modes of social production and colonialism, but mainly
Yes.
a serious treatment of the lasting psychological damage done by boy slavery among the
Yes.
boy slaves themselves
Yes,
as they
yes.
reach
The
maturity.
trauma.
That's like
Yeah.
how you get turned.
generational reproduced
It's
trauma.
about how you get turned into a genocidal maniac.
Yeah.
Patterns of abuse,
Much
the
like
cycle
this
of
is
abuse.
A cycle of abuse. Yeah. I mean,
Girl
I-
slavery,
honestly,
clearly
yeah.
from the Indiana Jones stuff, George Lucas is pro-girl slavery, anti-boy slavery
Yeah.
in these movies.
yes.
that's true. He's very anti-boy slavery in Temple of Doom. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right. Well,
there we
shall
go.
we sign off.
That's Attack
Yeah.
of the Clones.
And we'll be back next week for
We're gonna
Revenge
close it out,
of
baby.
the Sith. Revenge
Yeah.
Oh,
of
yeah.
the Sith.
the
Which
good
some
one.
people
Probably
by
the
that
best
point
one of them.
had been- that's I will argue that is Stockholm syndrome setting in. People have
If you
been
want to-
traumatized
if you
so
want
much.
to really, really enjoy Revenge of the Sith, you watch all 7 seasons of Clone Wars between now and then, and it will get you into the right. Like you'll be in Lucas' mindset fully by that point. That
You
it'll
mean the
make
heroes
sense.
on both sides that he talks
Yes.
about in the crawl for
They
Revenge?
do get into that
Revenge
in
of
the
Sith?
Clone Wars. You do get to meet the Separatist Parliament and the Prime Minister of the Separatists.
Well, look, I'm not doing much else.
Wow.
Over the next
Yeah,
week.
yeah,
So
I don't
I'll see
know.
how many of those I can put down.
That's like the Iliad. Jesus.
So many things you'll learn. Yeah.
All right.
That's like
well,
it's like
I learned a lot on
it's
this
like
one.
Hector and
that's for